All right, we did it. Okay, I think we are ready. Let's just make sure this is up and running. That's up and running. Oh, camera's not on. We'll turn the camera on. Gotta turn the camera on. Camera is on. Stream is ready. Oh, there we go. And let's do this. What am I doing? I am going here, and I'm going here, and I'm going here. And oh, there's no one in chat yet, so there's no reason for me to do that. So, all right. Well, we are going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully, some people hop in here as we get moving a little bit. My name is Aaron. I am host of Around the World Sports on YouTube. So if you are watching this on YouTube, you can follow me right here. There is the link to my channel. You can go there. You can say hi. You can watch some of my stuff there or not. That's fine too. Yeah, I'm not. I'm feeling a little under the weather today. My allergies are kind of kicking my behind, so we're gonna go as long as we can here. Not entirely sure how long I'm gonna stream for today, but we're gonna go for a while. We are going to go for a little while anyway. I don't know if we're gonna get the full 3 hours in, but we will see. At any rate, it is May 1st. We are coming off of a 16-8 April, and for those of you who may have missed, I threw Chris a curveball on Friday. I sent him a surprise extra stream on Friday morning. He wasn't anticipating that, so that didn't get posted until today. So if you missed that, I'll do just a brief recap. You can go back and watch it. But basically, we finished the month 16-8. We are a game behind the Dodgers. We are going for our, a repeat. We won the title last season. We'll go and quickly take a look. And most of you guys who are watching this are already aware of all of this, but we went 102-60 last season, our second straight 100-win year. Finished 12 games out of first place, even though we won 102 games, but we did win the World Series. And in the offseason, we picked up Braden Holcomb, who was we picked him up in a trade with the Cubs. We sent the Cubs 5 players, including Devin Futrell and Jordan Walker. How's Futrell doing through a month? He's been good. But we pick up a 23-year-old power hitting, great defensive shortstop. And he'll be our shortstop hopefully for many, many years. Not that we're going to be playing as the Rockies for many, many years. I know the plan is to play at least through this season to see if we can repeat. At that point, we'll decide. I want you guys, though, to kind of help me out with that, either in chat here, those of you who are watching, or those of you who are watching on YouTube. Let me know in the comments what you think we should do. Should we continue on with the Colorado Rockies beyond this season and just keep plugging ahead with the Rockies and see how far we can go and just make Out of the Park 22 a Rockies playthrough? Or should we sort of take a step back and once the season's over, look for whichever team was the worst and start over there? So those are the options once we get to the end of the season, but we still have a ways to go as it is just May 1st. So we're gonna start simming, and we're going to sorry. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I've got what do you call those things? It's like this stuff here, but I've got it around the mic, and I just banged into it. So anyway, all right, let's keep going. So we start off May with 3 games against Oklahoma City. So how is everybody tonight? Or when you're watching this, I hope you're having a good day, good week. Hope you had a good weekend. I certainly did. I actually went and played some baseball with my kids today. That right arm got some work in. So I got 3 kids that wanted to play some baseball. So took them down to the park, which is right down the street from my house, and we did a little pitching and hitting. So anyway, we win game 1 of the month, 4-3. Luke Lito 2 for 4, hits a home run. His 3rd of the year. Glasnow goes 5. Bullpen continues to pitch well. 4 shutout innings out of the pen. So good start to May. Game number 2 is That's what happens in game number 2. A 14-4 win. We're up 9-3 after 3 innings. Luke Lito finally busting out of his slump. He was hitting a $130, going into a $157 coming out of April. He's got his average up to. He's raised his average 50 points and his OPS 200 points in 2 games. So 4 for 5 with 4 runs scored, 5 RBIs. Holcomb 4 for 4, 4 runs knocked in. Sademon Parker goes 5. That's his first start of the year. We moved him into the starting lineup this year or not this year, but at the beginning of this month for Jack Leiter, who had been struggling as a starter. He had 1 good start and 3 below average starts. Moved him to the bullpen, pitched 2 innings in the win yesterday. Parker gets the win in his first start of the year. So, all right, cool. We're 2-0. Can we get the sweep? We lose 6-5 to Oklahoma City. All right, so we are 18-9. We are in first place, or at least we're tied for first place. We should have gone back and looked at this. Just showed you guys this stuff. Sam Wozniak, no surprise, wins the American League Hitter of the Month in April. He hit .443 with 12 home runs, 27 RBIs, and through 3 games in May, he's upped his average to .455. He's hit 2 home runs, driven in 5 in 3 games. So Sam Wozniak continues to get it done for us. Let's keep going. 3 games at Washington. 6-3 win in 10. So my goal tonight, initially, we were down 1-0 after 5. We took the lead in the 8th. We gave it up in the 8th, tied it in the 9th, scored 3 in the 10th. So my goal for tonight was to get to probably the draft, but I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. So Lito continues to hit, has that average all the way up to 243 now. Kind of Falefa's still hitting over 400. Ben Guest goes 6. Horn gives up a couple. Carter Smith comes in, pitches pretty well. Wynn gets the save. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Nolan Arenado. Old friend Nolan Arenado now plays for the Washington Senators, where he was a 1.5 win player last year. That 219 batting average is no good. Hey, Breeze, what is going on, my man? You're gonna be you're gonna have to keep me company here today, as I don't think we are going to see Random Task here tonight. So you got to keep me company. So we lose game 2. We are 3-2 this month, and let's see what happens in the 3rd game of the series. How's your weekend going? We win 5-2, so we're 4-2 this month. Lito gets on base 3 times, scores 2 runs. Wozniak 2 hits. Holcomb has 3 hits, has his average up over 300. Drew Jones homers. Glasnow gets the win. Wynn gets the save. So continue to play well. We are 20-10. My weekend is going quite well, actually. On Saturday, it was my niece's 13th birthday party, so we went over and we celebrated at my sister-in-law and brother-in-law's house, and then I took a nap, because that's what I do on the weekends. I nap. And then today, I took the kids to play baseball. When I got home from playing baseball with the kids, I took a nap. And now I'm streaming. So that was my weekend. What about you? What'd you do this weekend? Anything fun? Anything critically important? Oh, come on. What is going on with this? I'm using a new computer here as my streaming computer. I mean, I watched it. I watched it on Twitter. Like, I didn't actually sit and watch it. What was I watching when the draft was going on? I was watching something. I don't remember. Yeah, sometimes those weekends where you don't do anything are the best ones, Breeze. And I got 4 kids, man, so I don't get them very often. So when I get an opportunity to take a nap. Oh, and then last night my wife and I hung out outside, which was nice, for about 35, 40 minutes after the kids went to bed. We have I built a gazebo in the backyard for the summer and put lights up. And we just went out there and hung out for half hour, 40 minutes and talked. So that was pretty cool, too. Anyway, let's move on here against St. Louis. 3 games against the Cardinals. Game 1, it's a 6-3 win, so we're 21-10. Good start to the season, a 4-run 5th. Luke Lito pounding the baseball here in May. If we look at his batting splits, April, a $157, 271, 277. Look at his May. 17 for 30 here in May. 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 567, 629, 967 slugging. Oh, nice. Is that what you did all week? This is what I would have done all weekend, is play Out of the Park Baseball 22. This was the first year I didn't have to actually pay for Out of the Park Baseball 22. It was gifted to me by the wonderful folks at GM Games. And I've played it just as much this year as I ever have. So this isn't your first go round with the actual game. Or did you play? Was that you or is that Random Task who said you played it? Who played it on your phone? Played Out of the Park Go? Was that you or was that Random Task? You might stream some Out of the Park on your birthday, which is in 2 days. You know what, man? What you should do is, speaking of which, thank you for reminding me. I need to get this stream, and I need to post it. Hang on just a second. Oh, never mind. Chris beat me to it. He posted it on the Out of the Park Baseball channel, and he beat me to it because he's that good. When you stream, go to GM Games and make sure you post a link. I want to check it out. Yeah, for sure. Check it out. I want to give support to those who have given support to me. So absolutely, man. I come hang out with you and keep you company. So we win this game 6-3. 3 hits for Luke Lito, 3 hits and 3 RBIs for Drew Jones. Sademon Parker goes 5, picks up another win. Jack Leiter still not pitching well. His ERA's gone over 6. My eye is super itchy. This is what I'm talking about. My allergies today are absolutely kicking my butt. Itchy eyes, sore throat, stomach ache. It's just been ugly. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, post it on, and for anybody who is watching this who isn't already a part of it, join the GM Games Discord. They've got, I actually found a Let's Play over there today that I didn't know or that I hadn't watched previously for somebody who had been in the channel. His name is New, N-I-U, and then some numbers. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I didn't know that he had his own YouTube channel. But he posted something today on Out of the Park. I think it was on the OOTP Discord, actually, and I found it, and I watched some of his videos today. So, yeah. So anyway, Jack Leiter's been garbage, and if you happened to watch my January video, you saw that we had a trade deal that was Pat a day. I can't. The glasses for me are brand new. And welcome, Twins. By the way, is that Twins 34? Is that in honor of Kirby Puckett? I would imagine it is, right? Because Kirby was 34, if I remember correctly. I think so. Yeah, the glasses for me are brand new. I've only had to wear glasses for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and I don't know if I could do eye drops. I'm a big baby when it comes to that crap. I'll just take my what do you call it? The allergy pills. What are they called? The little I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, I loved Kirby Puckett. Absolutely loved Kirby Puckett. He didn't look like somebody that should have been that good at baseball. You know, he was short and round, but he was just so good, man. So good. So we win again. We're 22-10. We get a good game out of Brubaker. Smith, Hawes, and Wynn all continue to pitch well. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Twins. Clarendon. That's what I was thinking of. Yes, Clarendon. I've got my Clarendon. I wasn't feeling it until today, so I hadn't taken any until this morning, but I woke up this morning and just all day. I felt off all day long. So we win again. 23-10. We're just continuing to make a move here in the West. Lito continues to hit well in May. Wesniak, 3 more hits. Look at the season this guy's having. This is just ridiculous. 445, 522, 958. He's already got 3.3 WAR in 33 games. Yeah. He's signed to a contract that is, I mean, for what he's giving us is nothing. He's making $10 million this year, and he's already a 3-win player. All right, let's keep going. 3 games at Milwaukee. 5-1 win. Twins, how was your weekend? I'm going to ask everybody that. I'm concerned about people taking time to themselves Weekends are important. You need that time. It's filled with iced coffee, by the way. Jose Ramirez, 3 for 4. He's starting to come around a little bit. Denny gets the win. Things are looking up for us. Let's go for win number 6 in a row here over Milwaukee. Drew Jones gets suspended for 2 games. So long. So your weekend's been long? All right, do you have to work or something? Lito 2 for 4. Wesniak 2 for 5. Ramirez 4 for 5 with 5 runs knocked in. 2 home runs for Ramirez. Wesniak hits his 18th. Glasnow doesn't pitch well, but the bullpen sort of picks him up. Camerata gave up a couple runs, but I did the whole week work online league to go through, and you have a 1901 Senators franchise that you're playing and just started 1904. Do you stream it? Do you post it on YouTube? Do you anything like that? If you want to drop the link here, I would be happy to check it out, because the more content I can see, the better. So, and I'm gonna here real quick come in here, and just in case anybody that's in here hasn't seen, oh, that's not the right one. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm really bad at this whole streaming thing, guys, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. That is my link. You stream. You kind of stream it. It's late night when everyone goes to sleep. What's your channel? What's your channel called? Is it just Twins34? Because I'll follow you on my normal account. I use this one I use the Around the World Sports Twitch just for this. I'll follow you on my. Okay, cool. I'll look you up when the stream is over. I tend to. Late at night is when I love watching these types of streams, because I'm too tired to concentrate on playing myself, and I end up making mistakes. So I like just watching other people do it. All right, so we win again. That's 6 in a row. We got Game 7 coming up here at Milwaukee, and then a day off. Sal Stewart's eligible to come off the DL. Who is going to go down to the minor leagues? I mean, I feel like, yeah, it's got to be Chris B. He's not hitting well enough. All right, so B will go down to AAA. Stewart will come back up. We will stick Mr. Stewart back in the lineup in left. Yeah, Jerry Neely's not hitting at all either. So, cool. You play every at bat and use all of the. Oh, that's awesome. When I first started playing these types of games, because when I was a kid, I used to play. Pen and paper dice. I was a big Stratomatic baseball guy. I used to play, and we win again. Wow, it's 7 in a row. I played Stratomatic. I played all the Stratomatic games. I played baseball, football, hockey, played college football, and I did it for years. I used to love Stratomatic. But when I started going away from the pen and paper games, I started playing Baseball Mogul, which is, for those of you who are unaware, another version similar to this, albeit a significantly watered down version. And the first season I ever played, or the first game that I ever played, Jack Leiter, man. That's not getting it done. Anyway, the first playthrough I ever played was a playthrough with the 1967 Red Sox. And I played every single game I played up to like 1975 or something. So 9 seasons, 162 games or whatever it was. It was 162 games. So I played, 1,100 games or whatever. And it just, the thing about Baseball Mogul is that it was fun, was that it got too easy to sort of game the system. By the time the playthrough was over, I remember I had Reggie Smith, and Reggie Smith had become like an all-world outfielder for me. And he was very, very good in real life. But in my sim, he had hit like 500 home runs, had like 2,800 hits or something like that. And I was running away with my division every year, like 130, 140 wins. So we win again, 8 in a row. Stewart with a couple of hits Ely with a couple of hits. Ely homers twice. Stewart hits his first. Brubaker, 8 shutout innings. And so what I did was when I got to, I think it had to have been 1973, 74, something like that. In real life, Reggie Smith ran into the stands and attacked a fan. He was either playing for the Dodgers or the Giants at the time, and he ran into the stands and he attacked a fan. So in order to make things more fair, I pretended that happened and I traded him. So it's, when you have to start doing things like that to make the league competitive, I lost interest. And when I switched over to Out of the Park Baseball, I started playing every game, but I couldn't keep up the pace. For me, the fun of the game is the development, is the growth. It's drafting and watching those players develop and that sort of thing. And if you play every game, it just takes too long for me. You just took Ty Cobb with your number 1 pick, and you traded away Noodles Hahn to get the number 1 pick. And that's one of the things I love about Out of the Park Baseball is you drafted Ty Cobb, but he could end up not being Ty Cobb. He could end up being an average player. I mean, in reality, you just never know. You just never know. Game 3 against Arizona is a 6-2 win, so we went 2 out of 3 there. Holcomb with a couple of hits. Ramirez with a couple of hits. Denny picks up his 5th win. All right, we got to do something about Jack Leiter. He's ERA of close to 8. It's just not happening for him. So and unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the player that they were willing to. He's a 53 out of 80. Yeah, it sounds like he's going to end up being the Ty Cobb of, what was that pitcher's name? I had a trade locked down where it was basically Jack Leiter for a pitcher who was the same as Jack Leiter, but just cheaper than him. Now I got to find him. I mean, I could pick up Pablo Lopez, who's better. But I don't want to make a trade with the Dodgers. Who the hell was it? Let's do it this way. Let's go to players, player list, starting pitchers, pitching ratings. Let's see if I can find it this way. If I remember correctly, he was a 3-star pitcher, and I'm never going to remember. He was the same age. He was 28 years old. You played Stratomatic too? Yeah, I've been playing Stratomatic most. I played Stratomatic most of my childhood. Where was he? Was it this guy? It was this guy. It was Alfredo Ruiz. Will they take the deal now? Let's see. Because I think it might be time just to cut bait. Jack is just not getting it done. Damn it. So now they want more. All right, well, I'm going to submit the offer and see if anything changes. Let's keep going. 3 games against Miami. And we win 5-1. Yeah, we used to do, I had a friend of mine who, we were kids. We used to, I've always been a stats geek. I mean, we were kids. We were, 8, 9 years old. We used to take, I want to say it was the 1959 Stratomatic baseball season, and we drafted teams. So we each drafted a couple of teams, and then we played them against each other, and it was just a blast. You started the whole league with an inaugural draft, 0 prior stats. Your number 1 pick, of course, was Cy Young. Yeah, you said you started in 1901, right? I mean, that sounds like the right pick if you're starting in 1901. So we win 5-1. We score 5 in the first and make it hold up. Drew Romo hits his 3rd home run of the year. Glasnow only goes an inning and a third because he gets pulled with an injury. Camarada Leiter gives up the only run of the game. So Jack Leiter is having a difficult go of it here. Let's go to the pitching staff. I don't want Leiter in there in a situation where he could potentially cause us some grief. So we're going to avoid high leverage with Jack Leiter. We're going to run Wynn, Hicks, Hawes, Horn, and Smith. Those are our top 5 bullpen pieces. Let's go back. Yeah, I mean, you got to go with Cy Young if you start in 1901. I mean, that makes the most sense by far. 13-9 loss. Game 3 is a 2-1 win, so we're 30-12. Luke Lito is up to 268. Wozniak's down to 405, although he's got 20 home runs on the year. Ramirez knocks in the only run with a home run. Brubaker goes 6, strikes out 11. Smith, Hicks, and Wynn all pitch shutout innings. Let's just look at the standings real quick. Wow, we're 6 games up. We are 6 games up, so it looks like, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, but it looks like we may have outlasted the Dodgers and the Padres. We'll see how the rest of the year goes. But last year, at this point, the Dodgers were like 35-8 or something like that. So we're hanging in there. Look at the Orioles, 31-11, a 13-game winning streak for the Baltimore Orioles. When we get to the end of the month, we'll take a look at the team and figure out what we need. I'm not really sure that we need anything. Our starting pitching has been good. Our offense has been good. Our bullpen has been okay. We could probably use a bullpen arm because Jack Leiter's not pitching well, but we'll deal with that in about a week and a half. So 3 games at Chicago against the Cubbies. Game 1, 5-4 win. Spread out there. Connor Filet for 2 hits and an RBI. Looks like Drew Jones may have homered. Yep, hits his 7th of the year. Ben Guest picks up the win. Leiter gives up a run, but strikes out 4 in an inning and 2/3. Wynn gets the save. We continue to just grind out wins here. And as I say that, we lose 8-4. And Tyler Glasnow's out for 2 to 3 weeks. So that's the first significant pitching injury of the year. And we've lost 2 in a row for the first time in ages. So who gets called up? I think Applegate's pitching pretty well in AAA right now. We're going to give Spencer Miles the call. He has yet to pitch in the big leagues. He's 28 or 27 now, so it's an opportunity. Jack Leiter, we're just going to stick him back in the rotation, man. We're just going to stick him back in the rotation. I don't know how well that's going to work out, but we'll see. You have Leiter and you got... Yeah, he's been okay. I don't know how much of this you've watched, from the beginning, but he's been okay. I mean, 48-35. If you rule out his 7.88 ERA this year, he's 48-35 with an ERA of 4.5. Little under 4.5 in 4 years in Colorado. I mean, he's been nothing if not consistent. Anywhere between 3 and 4.2 WAR. He hasn't been bad. He hasn't been bad. He hasn't been bad at all. This year, it just hasn't been great so far. So hopefully he can turn it around. Yeah, and some sims I've had sims where he doesn't even make it out of the minor leagues, where he just flames out as a minor leaguer. You're thinking of managing the Red Sox, and you have MPB, KBO, and feeder leagues included. I get bored with the World Cup. I just want to get through it, I just want to get through it and get to the regular season, so I never manage the World Cup. But I have every single league enabled for this, which is why the sim sometimes takes forever, because I have every league enabled. I just feel like it adds more realism. Especially if I'm sitting here playing by myself, I don't care how long the sim takes. So if it has to take a little longer to give me that additional realism, I'm fine with it. All right, so we win 9-2. Lito gets on base 4 times. Wozniak's all the way down to 384 this year. Romo 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Estrada, our backup catcher, comes in gets a pinch hit double. Lito and Romo both homer. Parker gets the win. Cool. Let's move on. Game 2. Oh, what? Oh, that I don't play the World Cup. Yeah, it's the one thing I can't. I don't know. I've tried it before with teams that, like, not the USA, not the Dominican Republic. If you put more than one league in, does that mean you can see stats from a player who played? Yes, that's exactly what it means. So if you have all of the leagues in there, it will show you all of that player's stats. So if we look up Jung-Hoo Lee, You've got his Major League Baseball stats here with the Yankees, and now you have his KBO stats here listed as well. So if whatever league you enable will generate stats. And if that player goes to the KBO and then comes back to Major League Baseball, it will show his stats for both. And that's why I do it. I like the realism, and like I said, even if the sim takes a little longer, I'm fine with that. So look at Tanner Brubaker, guys, a 1.72 ERA through 10 starts for us. This is what we were hoping to get when we traded for him last year. He has been lights out. Lido and Jones homer. Game 3 against San Francisco, we go for the sweep. And we win 6-0. Yeah, I have every single league enabled. You can just see here, every single league is enabled. And it also gives you the opportunity, and I haven't done this much. I haven't done that much at all with the Rockies playthrough, but with my offline playthroughs, I like to go through some of these leagues and just look for players. I found, I think it was this one. Yeah, this is the honk ball Hoofdglas. This is the Netherlands, and I remember I found a 5-star prospect in here once. Like he was a 1.5-star, 5-star center fielder. So if you're going to take advantage of it and go through and look at all of them, it's definitely worth it. But for a playthrough like this, I like it just because it builds the realism into it with your stats and stuff. So Lido with a couple hits. Sal Stewart got a nice batting average. The power total's not there, but he's hitting .320. Ben Guest goes 6 shutout innings. Smith and Miles. There you go. Spencer Miles pitching well in his first couple of outings for us. Let's get through May and take a look at the stats. Yeah, if I just had MLB on, this would be going a whole lot faster, but I don't care about that. So, Game 1 against the Braves, 3-2 loss. Game 2, 8-7 loss. Let's avoid the sweep here, guys. No, we get swept, and we lose Sam Wesniak for 3 weeks. That's not what I wanted to do. All right, I'm going to go in, and I'm going to change. Am I going to be able to do this? Shit. My finger slipped, and I put him on the 60-day. All right. I'm going to go into commissioner mode, and I'm going to see if there's some way I can fix that. Let's see. Because obviously I didn't mean to put him on the 60-day. Let's see. Can we do that? I don't know. I might just have to... Yeah, right there. He's on the 15-day. And yeah, in 15 days, I'm just going to have to pull him off. I'm going to have to pull him off the 60-day. Well, we've lost 3 in a row. That's no good. And now we have to figure out what we're going to do to replace Wesniak here for the next 3 weeks. Okay, so I think we're going to put Sal Stewart at first. We're going to bring Chris B in to play left. And then against lefties, we'll move Stewart up here. And does Estrada? Sure. How's he do? He's 8 for 24. We'll give him some plate appearances here. Stick him in left. Put him at first. Well, that was a crappy series, guys. So we lose 3 in a row, and we lose Sam Wesniak for 3 weeks. So that sucks. All right. I got to shut off commissioner mode. I don't want anybody to think I'm cheating. I'm going to turn off commissioner mode. So game schedule. All right, so we got 1 game left. Does the game come in DVD when you buy it? No, no hockey. You get a code like you do for anything else. I always just download it on Steam. And it just loads automatically. You tried to do a Rockies franchise, Jolly Roger. How did that go? Failed miserably. Why did it fail miserably? What happened? It hasn't been easy, that's for sure. I mean, we got really lucky with a couple of the deals that we made. Picking up Wesniak for next to nothing. Picking up Tyler Glasnow for next to nothing. Can we snap this 3-game losing streak as we go to July 1st? Yeah, hockey. I don't know if they even. I don't even know if you can do that anymore. Yet we win 7-6 and 11. I don't remember the last game I bought that had a CD. I think it was like Diablo 2, like a decade ago. So Cotter, wow. So our Rule 5 guy, Alexius Cotter, 4 for 5 with a home run and 2 doubles. Big game. Holcomb 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Lito 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Brubaker gets hit hard as soon as I praise him for getting off to a great start. He doesn't make it out of 4. Bullpen pitch as well, though. All right, so we go to June, 35-17. We were 16-8 in April, 19-9 in May. The pitching was so bad and your hitting was meh. Yeah, I mean, I've had playthroughs that were just failures, and I've watched other people play Rockies playthroughs and they haven't worked. And I think I went about it the right way. I took my time with development. I dumped a ton of money into scouting and development. I signed popular players to build up fan interest, and I got lucky on a couple of our draft picks. I mean, Luke Lito was a second-round pick, and look what he's turned into. I mean, yeah, you expect second-round picks to be good, but, I mean, he's been a beast. Sam Wozniak we got for almost nothing. I mean, if you remember, and I don't know how far back you've gone watching this, but we got Wozniak for Oswald Peraza. I mean, so we just sort of hit the jackpot with a couple of these picks. We signed Glasnow to a super cheap deal, $12 million a year, and he's been fantastic for us. So I say we got lucky with a couple of our players. We drafted really well. We drafted Jim Denny. We drafted Ben Guess. We drafted Sademon Parker, Jack Leiter, Chad Horn, Carter Smith, Spencer Miles. They were all draft picks. So we just drafted really well, and that helped us. You bought Draft Day Sports, and you're trying to figure out how to play. Yeah, I'm not the right person to ask. I mean, I have a Draft Day Sports playthrough going on my channel, and I've had there's still a ton that I don't know. Hockey, what I would recommend, go to the GM Games Discord, because Out of the Park Baseball is one of the few games that you see on that channel that isn't a Draft Day Sports game, and there are people on the Discord who know so much more about the Draft Day Sports stuff than me, and I love the Wolverine Studios guys. I've got, I think, every game except for golf. I don't know as much about the inner workings of the game as some of the other people do. So that would be my recommendation for Draft Day Sports Football is go to the GM Games Discord and just ask your questions in there, man. There's a lot of people in there that are helpful. NSOP, you did a Rockies playthrough and lost in the World Series twice, signed Chris Bryant and Kyle Tucker, and they mashed. Yeah, you can find the right player. I mean, our first big free agent signing was Joey Gallo. And he was everything we needed from him. He gave us the power that allowed us to sort of build around him. And he's not very good anymore, but when you look at Gallo's stats for us, he had 47, 46, 41, 42, and then he was a part-time player in 2026 here. We're at 25. So, I mean, if you can sign one or two mashers and then kind of build the team around them, to drive in those runs. I mean, look at 101 runs, 117 runs, drove in 134 runs here in 2024. So, yeah, I mean, if you find the right masher, Yukarin Kazami, you love the Boston Red Sox. So do I, man, as I guess it's fairly evident by my hat and the flag. But I, too, am a Boston Red Sox fan. I don't play my Red Sox playthrough as a stream because I want to just do it on my own. So I have that playing offline. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Got some new faces in here tonight. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. My name is Aaron. I host a channel on YouTube called Around the World Sports. There's the link right there. If you haven't already, go check it out when you're done. When you're done with this here, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But There's a link. I've got some other sport. I've got an out of the park playthrough on there right now. We started as the Detroit Tigers. We went 9 seasons with the Tigers, I think, before winning the World Series. And now we're in our first year with the Cincinnati Reds. I've got a front office football playthrough going with the Las Vegas Raiders. I have a draft day sports football playthrough going with the Bears, which is I don't want to say it's on hiatus, but it's inconsistent. And then I've got some other stuff as well. So at any rate, we are in year 8 with the Colorado Rockies. We're coming off of our first World Series victory. We are at June 1st. We are 35-17. Let's take a quick look at the stats before we proceed. So through 2 months, Tanner Brubaker 4-1, 2.35 ERA, good for almost 2. I mean, our starting pitching's been really good. Brubaker, Guess, and Denny have been outstanding. Parker has not been good as a starter this year. He and Leiter are not getting it done out of that 5 spot, so that may be a position of need come the trade deadline. Who's on the trade block? Any starters worth their salt? Chris Paddock is out for the year, otherwise I might look at him. Gunnar Meyer, I don't like the control. Yeah, we'll keep looking. Nothing there right now. What about batters? Not that we need a batter, but yeah, still nothing there either. All right, let's go back to pitching stats. So I think we are going to need. Potentially a starting pitcher, potentially a reliever. Offensively, I think we're probably going to be fine, but we'll take a look at that in a minute. Jim Denny continues to pitch well for us. He's only 5-5, but still pitching well. His ERA is up a full run from last year, though, which is a bit concerning. But, yeah, I mean, he's been fine. 3 runs in 6. He lost that game. Yeah, I mean, he's been okay. Our bullpen continues to pitch pretty well. Mason Wynn's been very, very good. Very, very good. Only 8 hits in 23 innings, 38 strikeouts. Chris Hawes, we picked up last year in a deal with Minnesota. His rookie year has been quite good. And then everybody else is varying levels of average. Jordan Hicks has been okay. Not quite as good as we would want, given that we're paying him $10 million. But because we still have $44 million, I'm not too concerned about paying Jordan Hicks a little bit more than that. Offensively, we don't have Sam Wozniak on here right now to show, how he's mashing, but actually, let's take a look at him real quick. 386, 461, 852, 3.7 WAR, 23 home runs, 56 RBIs. We are going to miss his bat in the lineup here for a bit. But the rest of our offense, I think, is enough to make up for it. Jose Ramirez continues to play really well. The ratings are hanging in there. Defensively, he's not as good as he once was. I mean, defensively, he's quite bad at this point. But the bat continues to get it done. Just a great signing for us when we signed him. Braden Holcomb has been really good in his first season with us. 1.5 WAR. Luke Lito's bounced back. Again, he had just a brutal April. 157, 271, 277. Bounced back in May very, very nicely. Drew Jones showing a little bit of pop in his bat this year, which we need since he's batting cleanup. Kiner Falefa continues to do Kiner Falefa things, hitting .341, playing good defense. Alexius Cotter was a Rule 5 pick for us, guys. And look at this, 20 of 59 on the year. Romo's doing okay. Average is a little low. Power's not quite there. Sal Stewart's another one. No power to speak of, which is a bit surprising given his ratings. The offense has actually been down a little bit. That range is a bit... Yeah, it absolutely is. But, I mean, he's also, 37 now? 35? And with what he's done for us offensively, you can see we signed him in 2024. You see what he's done for us offensively in his 4+ years for us. I mean, he could literally stand there at third base and only field balls that were hit to him, and it would be fine with what he gives us defensively, with what he's giving us offensively. So, and if we absolutely have to, we can always just move Sal Stewart to third. Stewart is a very good third baseman. What I would have liked to have done in a perfect world is make Stewart my third baseman, move Ramirez to first, but then I got to figure out what to do with Wozniak because his bat's obviously not coming out of the lineup. So Yeah, our offense has been good. It hasn't been Rockies good. You can see we're only second in runs scored and third in WAR, and we're usually first across the board. So, I mean, we're still getting it done. I mean, I'm certainly not going to complain. We're 35 and 17. Could I move Jose Ramirez to second base? I could. I mean, I don't want to because we've got Willie Castro there, and defensively he's a wizard. His bat is starting to slip. Willie Castro put up an 8-win season for us a year ago. Obviously, that bat is not quite the same this year as it was a year ago, but he's still dominant defensively. So I think we're just going to stick with what we have from a defensive perspective right now. If we start to slip back in the pack, that might be something we readdress, and maybe we just stick Wozniak out and left. What are his? Does he have? Yeah, I mean his outfield rating. I mean he can't play left. He's got a 19 range. So Wozniak is a first baseman. It's unfortunate, but that's what he is. So Julio Negron is an interesting story. He's 21 years old. He's number 6 prospect in baseball. Is Holcomb? Yeah, Holcomb's a fantastic shortstop here. Let me show you. Yeah, he's fantastic. Great ratings. Got some power. He's probably never going to hit for a super high average. Oh, he's hitting 280 this year. But yeah, he's a great defensive shortstop. He's only 23. So Julio Negron, the number 6 prospect in baseball. He's an A-ball right now, pitching really, really well. Here's my concern. My concern is that his changeup has not developed in 3 years. The changeup is a 1. Good fastball, good curveball. Potentially really good stuff, good movement, decent control, ground ball pitcher who already throws 100 miles an hour. Excuse me. But I don't know that he's going to be a starter for us. I don't know that he's ever going to be a starter. If that changeup doesn't develop, he's a reliever. And he's a very good reliever. Yeah, right. That's Negron as a closer. Changeups don't ever develop. I had another pitcher in my Tigers playthrough who had basically the exact same profile, a little bit better stuff, but exactly the same profile, and the changeup just never developed. So I'm thinking about trading him, honestly. Thinking about trading him, and I wonder what I could get if we just went alone with Negron, and then if we also looked at if we added Light. This guy. He's 24, so I don't know how much. I don't know if he's ever going to reach these ratings, but he feels like more of a sure thing to me than Negron does. Throws the same, has the same velocity, still a ground ball pitcher, better movement. Stuff isn't quite as good. Control's better. Already has 3 developed pitches. He feels like a better pitcher to me than what we would get out of Negron. It's apparently done like that to mimic real life, but it basically means that unless they come in with a changeup, it won't be a pitch. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that out of the park baseball kind of has that stuff. It has that stuff planned. You know what I mean? That they're good enough at putting this game together that makes sense. So, yeah, I like someone like Ken Napoli. Let's try to get a scouting report on him. Let's try to work on that scouting accuracy, and if he's close to that with high accuracy, that might be a move we make. A lot of good pitchers in here, man. I don't like any of that. Yeah, some of these 2.5-star guys are going to have flaws. Wow, ton of prospects. I don't want to trade him to the Dodgers. What else we got? Mario Solis, he's hurt. Marco Luciano from the Giants. I mean, that could be our third baseman, but the issue at that point becomes, what do we do with Ramirez? That's a long contract. No, thank you. Kanan Utley, number 27 prospect. He's not bad. I kind of like. I'm gonna sim ahead a day and see what we get from a scouting perspective with Ken Napoli. And if he's close to that, I might pull that trigger. Just think of the out of the park engine with Major League Baseball. It would be. Yeah, I had somebody tell me that I should start a playthrough in MLB The Show, and to me, I don't know. I mean, it's a fun game if you truly like the hand-eye coordination, but from a sim engine, if you're looking for a sports simulation style game, just nothing compares to this. There's nothing even close. I mean, there are other. We lost again. It's 4 out of 5. Let's try one more time. Let's get that up to very high. There's just, for my money, there's just nothing that compares with out of the park baseball. So we have lost 4 out of 5 now. 19-12. That's a baseball game. That's a Rockies game for you right there. 8 runs in the bottom of the 8th to pull that one out. Jose Ramirez, 4 for 6 with 8 runs knocked in. Okay, have yourself a game, Jose. 2 home runs, a double. Denny gets, really everybody got hit hard, except for our last 3 pitchers. Denny doesn't make it out of 3. Oof. Did we get another? We did. We got another scouting report on Ken Napoli. All right, so we're very high on his, can you see my catcher? Sure, my catcher is Drew Romo. 3.5 star, elite defensively. Bat is pretty good. He's been inconsistent with the bat. You can see he's had 2 years of 20 home runs, and then his other 2 years were 10. But defensively, he is phenomenal. We have him signed to a modest contract as well. If we go back to his profile, you can see we had him signed 4 years, $40 million. Yeah, we locked Drew Romo up as soon as we possibly could. It's, to get a catcher with that type of defensive rating who can also hit a little bit just doesn't exist. So, not without spending, I think JT Realmuto was on the market this past offseason, and he got $25 million or something like that. So, we'll pay Drew Romo 7 and call it a day. San Diego Studios does an amazing job with MLB The Show. Just think if Madden had a company that wanted... I like... Well, for starters, I'm a PC. I haven't owned a console since I think the Nintendo Wii was the last console I bought, and that was for my kids. So I'm a PC guy, and I don't know. I haven't played Madden in years and years and years. I played Madden back on my old PlayStation and my PS2 and that sort of thing, but I don't know. I'm beyond that point in my life. I'm beyond that point in my life where the hand-eye core, I don't care about in-game graphics. I really don't. This is what I love, looking at numbers. I love looking at stats. I love looking at player development. And for me, again, there's just nothing better than out of the park baseball. Yes, he is a very sexy catcher, Twins. Very sexy. Breeze, I mostly know KBO, NPB, and MLB. I'm not sure if you should do all the leagues. Yeah, give it a try. I mean, that's one of the wonderful things about out of the park baseball is that you can try it and see what happens. And if you don't like it, you delete the save and you start over. Now, Cochran, that is very, very accurate. Christian Vasquez is extraordinarily sexy. He is extraordinarily, he's fantastic, yeah. I love Christian. It's funny, I remember when they signed him to that extension a few years back, there was some talk that he was overpaid, and then he came out and hit 20 home runs or whatever. So, yeah, I love Christian behind the plate. Did you watch the game today? And you're going to get me off track here talking about the Red Sox. Did you watch the game today? That was a baseball game. I mean, no hit through whatever it was, 6 1/3 innings, and they end up winning. You watch every game. Well, good for you, man. Are you from the Boston area, or are you just a Red Sox fan? Madden is on PC and way better. I haven't bought Madden in ages because That's right. You live in Boston. I live in Chicago right now, but I grew up in Peabody. It's where I went to high school. It's where I graduated high school. I went to school at the University of New Hampshire. So I'm a New England boy through and through. But yeah, I live just outside of Chicago right now. So you Boston fans doing Boston love together. That's right, man. We got to stick together. There's so much Boston hate out there, and it's born out of jealousy, and we realize that as Red Sox fans, and it's fine, but we got to stick together because of it. So, at any rate, all right. So we got to keep going here. We've played 2 games in like the last 20 minutes. So we win 19-12. Can we take the first game here against the Mets? We need Wozniak back. Is really what we need. So we win 3-1. And Jack Leiter gets his first win of the year. Take my glasses off. Scratch my horribly itchy eyes. Medina, Smith, and Wynn come on and pitch a solid 3 innings of relief. We get 2 hits and 2 RBIs from Holcomb. Nothing wrong with Boston. Only New York sucks. I can get behind that as well. My wife has wanted to go to New York City, and I just refuse to do anything New York City related. So I'm actually going back to Boston in September sometime. I'm going to go to Fenway it's going to be a series against Baltimore in September. And I'm going to be going to one of those games with a buddy of mine from back home. So that should be fun. Yeah, we are treading water right now without Wozniak and without Tyler Glasnow. So we need to get those guys back here shortly as we win 8-3. Brubaker pitches well. We get 3 RBIs from Ramirez and Jones, 2 RBIs from Willie Castro. Brubaker goes 6. 3-game set against Pittsburgh. I've literally never been to New York City. I've been to New York a whole bunch of times. My wife has family in New York. I drive through New York. When I go back to Boston, I drive. I don't fly, so I drive through New York, but not through New York City. Because I'm in Chicago, I go north up by like Buffalo and stuff. So, game 1 against Pittsburgh, 13-4 loss. Game 2, 7-6 win. Yeah, we are very up and down right now. Maybe it's a World Series hangover. We're in first place, so I can't complain that much. But yeah, we've been inconsistent. Pitching has not been very good. Yeah, our starting pitching is 10th. Our bullpen is 10th, so we need some pitching help. We get Glasnow back tomorrow, which is nice. So let's see what happens here in the final game against Pittsburgh. We win, so we get Glasnow back, which is good. Get him right in there. Leiter pitches okay. Bullpen pitches well. Who gets sent down? Spencer Miles is going to go back. Thank you for your service. It is no longer required. Tyler Glasnow. Get him back in there. And how has Parker done in his last few starts? Two good starts, 2 bad starts in his last 4. So let's see how he does today, and then we'll decide where we want to stick him if we want Parker to go to the bullpen or if we want Leiter to go to the bullpen. Twins. Yeah, I live about 40 minutes southwest of the city. Hunter, you just got back from vacation in New York City. You agree with not wanting to live there, and maybe a lot of the appeals how vastly different it is from the Houston area. So much to do within walking distance, whereas in Houston you're often need. Houston is a huge, huge city. I don't think people realize exactly how physically large the city of Houston is. It's I want to say it's one of the top 2 or 3 cities in the country in terms of the square mileage. It's a top market in the country in terms of population, but yeah, it's enormous. It's huge. And the other reason I don't want to go to New York City is I don't like big crowds, which is why I don't like going to downtown Chicago. It's just too many people for me. I live in the suburbs now, and I grew up in, like I said, in a, relatively speaking, it was a big town in Massachusetts, but, a town of 50,000 people. is tiny, but in Massachusetts it's big. And then when I was in New Hampshire, I mean, Durham, New Hampshire, where UNH is, has got like 12,000 people in it or something like that. So it's a really tiny school. All right, let's see how this goes. We're going to let Parker get his next start, and then we'll decide on whether or not we're moving Parker or Leiter back to the bullpen as we take on Philly. You're in Iowa. You grew up in Minnesota. Where are you in Iowa, Twins? We win 9-7. My job, I cover... hey, Chris! Well, people in New Hampshire generally are up there because they don't want to be near people. Yeah, I mean, I was born in New Hampshire. I spent the first 12 years of my life in New Hampshire. Okay, yeah, I know where that is. My job requires me... My full-time job, obviously, this isn't my full-time job. My full-time job, I cover multiple states. I cover, right now, Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri, but I've covered Wisconsin and Minnesota and the Dakotas, so I know all the cities and the markets and the towns and that sort of thing. So, how you doing, Chris? Thanks for at least jumping in and saying hi. But yes, absolutely, throw GM Games a follow if you're enjoying this stream or if you just generally like sports management gaming. They've got a bunch of streams that go on here throughout the course of the week. My time slot is usually Sunday night, 7 p.m. I usually go for about 2 to 3 hours, depending on how I'm feeling. Tanner Brubaker picks up the win, but gets hit hard again. So something's going on with our pitching here. But at any rate, I want to get Glasnow back out there. So we're going to move Leiter back to the pen. I've made the decision. Move Jack Leiter back to the pen. How many days until we get Wesniak? 3 days left. So we get Wesniak back in 3 days, so that'll help, obviously. Not having him in the lineup has been a kick in the junk. Game 2. Yeah, great crowd I got tonight. Very, very talkative. So this is, I like to say, it makes the time go by a whole lot faster, obviously. So, we get the regulars. Breeze has been in here for a while, but we got some new faces and some people that haven't chatted up before. So I appreciate it, guys. Hunter and Twins and Euchre. I appreciate you guys keeping me company here tonight. And I appreciate it. Your hometown had 36K people in it. That's a decent size for Massachusetts. Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah, it absolutely is in Massachusetts. Like I said, Peabody had like 50. Breeze is fantastic. Yes, I'm a big fan of Breeze. All right, so we went 8-2. So we've sort of righted the ship here a little bit over the last week. Chris B, 4 hits and 4 RBIs. Drew Jones, 2 hits, 3 runs knocked in. Sal Stewart had a couple hits. Ben Guess only goes 4 2/3 innings. Strikes out 9. Bullpen pitches pretty well. All right, so we're 42-20. Has the draft pool announcement? The draft pool announcement, I think, has come out. Let's take a look at that real quick. Did I want to pull the trigger on that trade? Breeze is fantastic. Oh, I see what you. Okay, you're a pun guy. You're being punny. Yes, you are punny. Yeah, Jolly Roger's a Boston fan, so you guys, you saw this and you saw that and you saw this and you went, I gotta watch that guy. So, now I appreciate you guys hanging out. I really do. Even if you were all Yankee fans, I would appreciate you coming in here and hanging out. So let me ask you guys this. I'm gonna get your I want your opinion on this. Do I pull this trigger? That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go here. Chicago Cubs. So Julio Negron, 22-year-old pitcher who's probably never going to be anything other than a reliever because he's got that changeup that's not going to develop. He's 22. He's an A-ball, ground ball pitcher, 99 to 101. Potential 70 stuff, 57 movement, 56 control. Oh, wait, now all of a sudden they won't make that deal? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Stupid AI. Stupid AI. Really? I waited too long. If the Red Sox get Anthony Rizzo, you'd have to get a jersey. The cut, yeah. The rumor here in Chicago is he's the one who's not going anywhere. There's talk of Craig Kimbrell being traded back to Boston or anywhere else. Chris Bryant is another name that is the rumors are flying about. Even Javi Baez. But yeah, Rizzo's the one they're saying is not going to go anywhere. So I waited too long, and that's a real bummer because I was thinking I was going to pull that trigger. All right, well, it is what it is. Maybe we can readdress it later. All right, let's keep going. We got another game against Philly. We're looking for 5 wins in a row. Scope to Boston. Where would he play? First? The trade deadline is the 31st. Where would he play you? I mean, would he play? Yeah, at first base would have to be the answer. I mean, second base between Arroyo and Kike, who I love, by the way. I absolutely adore Kike Hernandez. So we win this one 8-4. Sal Stewart 3 hits. Pinch hit 3-run double for Chris B. Glasnow goes 4 in his first start back. Bullpen pitches 5 shutout innings. We come from behind. Win our 5th in a row. It's 43-20. We're 43-20. Let's keep going. On the road at San Diego is an 8-4 win, so that's 6 in a row now. I think, yeah, Wozniak is back, so let's get him on the roster. And if for some reason it doesn't let me put him on the roster, I am going to go into commissioner mode just to make everybody aware of that. Okay, it did. Because I accidentally put him on the 60-man rather than the 15-day DL, or on the 60-day DL rather than the... Oh, he's still out for another 4 days. Okay, well, I'm dumb. I wasn't paying attention. Damn it. All right, well, I guess he's going to sit here for 4 days. This is what happens when I try to play and stream. I miss easy things. You need his beautiful beard back. He's actually been dominant again this year. He's had a couple of bad seasons in a row, but this year he's been back to the Kimbrel of old. So I would be all for it. I mean, the closer job is Matt Barnes's, I think, at this point to keep. You know, I mean, he's been one of the best closers in baseball this year. I don't think you can take that away from him. But putting Kimbrel in front of Barnes, along with Darwinzon Hernandez, that would be... I don't know, man. I feel like that's one, we lose again 2-1. So we lost 2 out of 3 to San Diego. Now we take on the Dodgers. I feel like moving Barnes out of the closer role is one of those things that Cora wouldn't do. I don't think that Cora would take Barnes out of the closer role. I think he values the I don't know, his player input so much. Yeah, Hernandez, Barnes. Except I would go Whitlock, Kimbrel, Barnes. Garrett Whitlock is a stud, man. He is a stud. If you add Kimbrel to Barnes, Hernandez, Whitlock, and Ottavino, I mean, that's as good a back of the bullpen as you're going to get. And then you get Chris Sale, which allows them to knock Richards out of the starting rotation. I mean, the pitching staff is shaping up nicely, though. Tanner Houck, at this point, Tanner Houck is a starter. You can't, I don't know how you can take, I mean, he looked great the other night. We struck out 9 and 4 1/3 innings or whatever. So 3 games against the Dodgers. Let's see how these 3 go. We've lost 2 in a row. And we beat the Dodgers 4-2. 4 hits for Luke Lito, who's sitting at 250. So he's having a down year this year. Guest goes 6 shutout innings. Horn blows it. That stinks. Game number 2 against the Dodgers. 6-2 loss in game number 3. It's a 4-3 win. Holcomb is down for a couple of days. Richards won't be kicked. Man, I hope not. I mean, I don't know. I try not to... I guess the way I look at it is from a long-term perspective, it makes sense because Houck has options, obviously, and Richards doesn't. So if you have to move somebody off the roster, I think you start with Matt Andriese and you kind of shoot him to the moon. But I think you got to find a way to keep Tanner Houck on the big league roster, whether it be a starter or a reliever. I think you got to find a way to keep him on the right. His breaking stuff has just been deadly so far. Kind of Lefa hits his first home run of the year. Denny again does it. This has been a disappointing season for Jim Denny. He was really, really good a year ago. Has not been really, really good this year. Any interesting messages? George Springer with his 2000th hit. We're going to look at the trade block here in a second as well. Is it Reese McGuire? No, it's TJ McGuire. I don't know who that is. Let's look at the trade block. Still nothing good from a batter perspective, really. Chafin's awesome. He's got that killer beard and mustache. And do I get messages from around other leagues or just Major League Baseball? The way I have it set up is I have it just set up for my. Where am I going? Mail. I have it set up news from my league. I don't want to get messages from other leagues, but I mean, you can obviously set it up for the entire world if you want to, but I don't want to get 1,000 messages a day, so I just have it from my league. All right, so it's June 18th. We are 46-23. We are 4 games up on the Padres. Look at the Giants. 10 wins in a row for the San Francisco Giants. We're 46-23. We're certainly not running away with anything. We had a 4-game lead on the Padres, 6-game lead on the Dodgers. Is Wozniak back yet, or is he still out? He is back. Let's get him back in that lineup, guys. Get him back in the lineup and get him swinging that stick for us. That is huge. How did Estrada do? Meh, not so hot. All right, we got to get through the rest of this month. But yeah, I think they got to do something about first base because I don't think Bobby Dahlbeck is the answer there. He just strikes out too much. He's very, very good defensively, but he just strikes out too damn much, man. And until he can fix that hole in his swing, I don't know that he's ever going to be a full-time big league player. So you got to do something about first base, and you got to do something. I mean, you always want to add pitching. So that's kind of my take on what they need to do here going forward. No, Dahlbeck doesn't do good offensively. I mean, he's got some power. We lose to Oklahoma City. He's got some power, so when he connects, he can hit the ball a long way. But the problem is he doesn't connect enough. So, yeah. All right, so there's Wozniak. 3 RBIs, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. He is back, folks, with 2 home runs and back in a big way. Sal Stewart, 3 hits, 2 runs scored. Jose Ramirez, 3 hits. Brubaker pitches 6 innings to pick up the win. Game 3 against OKC. Another win, 3-2. Ben Guess gets the win. Wozniak homers again. I would say he's back. Perez with a couple of hits. 5 2/3 shutout innings out of Guess. Wynn picks up the save, even though he gives up a couple of runs. Three games against Washington, followed by the All-Star break. We'll see what All-Stars we have. Dahlbeck needs to go down. Yeah, he might be that guy. He might be that guy if they make a deal at the deadline for a first baseman. I mean, it's obvious that Cora loves the flexibility that you get out of Kike Hernandez and Marwin Gonzalez and Santana and even Franchi Cordero at this point. Dahlbeck, he can play first, he can play third, and he can only hit lefties. So I don't know that he has the flexibility that would serve this team. So I would imagine that he would go to Worcester if they're able to make a deal at the deadline. The organization really likes to. I mean, I like him. I mean, you don't want to get that power is so tempting, man. I mean, he's got power. If he can fix the hole in his swing, yeah, I mean, he becomes a 35 home run guy. But I mean, you can't strike out. Joey Gallo can get away with it because he hits 240 and he hits 45 home runs. If Dahlbeck hit 240, I'd be fine with it. But Dahlbeck's hitting 200 and he's striking out in 40% of his plate appearances. It just doesn't get it done. You know what I love more than anything, though? The fact that we're simply talking about the Red Sox being in the playoff race after the train wreck that was last year. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is the best part. Like, we can talk about how bad, Seabold, well, we got Seabold and Pivetta for Hembree and Workman. I mean, that was, Chaim Bloom is an absolute master. I mean, those trades he made last season were getting Pivetta and Seabold for Hembree and Workman, and now we have Hembree back, so basically we got Seabold and Pivetta for Heath Hembree. I mean, come on. I mean, that is a steal. And then we get Arroyo off the waiver wire, and I mean, he's been great so far. And again, I said this a minute ago about Kike Hernandez. I posted on Twitter today that Kike is rapidly moving into Dustin Pedroia territory for me. I absolutely adore Kike Hernandez. I love the way he plays. I love the fact that he can play so many different positions. Kike Hernandez is my favorite player on this 2021 Red Sox team, without question. No doubt in my mind. In fact, here, let me show you something. Let's see if I can pull it up on my phone. Oh, I was arguing with somebody on Twitter before the stream, and I now have 12 messages on my phone. So this is my Twitter profile. Let's see if I gotta wait for it to come up. Can you guys see it? Can you see it? Let me bring it a little closer. There we go. There's Kike. That's my Twitter profile. I absolutely adore Kike Hernandez. I just love the way he plays. I love players like that. I love the flexibility and just what he brings to the table. And I like Marwin Gonzalez as well. I love the fact that they'll play anywhere, and they don't say I have to be the leadoff hitter, or I have to play second, or I have to play center, or whatever. They play wherever they have to play to help the team, and that to me is what I love about them. So Glasnow picks up the win. Strikes out 10 in 5 2/3. Let's keep going. Game 2 against Washington. I want to get through this month here so we can get to the fun stuff in July. So Sam Wesniak is the top vote getter in the National League, to nobody's surprise. The deal for Mazza and Springs. Was that... They had some really bad pitchers on the roster last year. Springs was on the roster last year, right? That pitching... last year was the first year... I'm 45 years old. Last year was the first year in my life where I watched probably less than half the Red Sox games. It was so, and last year, everybody wanted to watch sports because there just weren't any sports. So when the season started, I was all about it, man. I was all about it last year. But once it became clear that they were going to finish 20 and 40, I was like, I can't. And they were out of every game, right? Well, happy birthday, Twins. Happy birthday. I turned 45 back in February. Yeah, after they would be down 4-0, 5-0 after an inning or two, and it's just like, I can't watch this anymore. It's just depressing. So Denny finally pitches well. All right, let's look at we got All-Star games. So let's look at the prospect game first. We got any prospects? Ian Moeller, he's in AAA as our catcher. He's he's okay. Figured he'd want to be in the majors, but he's doing okay down in AAA this year. Anybody else? Jim Pennell, who's in AAA. He'll likely be our starting left fielder next season. I just wanted him. He was our first round pick last year, and he's going to be our starting left fielder next year. All-Star Game rosters. We have whom? Tanner Brubaker makes it. He's the All-Star Game starter. Congratulations to him. Mason Wynn makes it. Sam Wozniak, of course. Jose Ramirez, of course. And that's it. Okay, so we get, what, 4 All-Stars? Let's get through this last game. Marcus Walden, Zach Godley. Some of these guys were terrible, man. That pitching staff was just awful. Awful, 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 awful. Lito 2 for 4. 4 runs scored. Ramirez drives in a couple. Holcomb drives in a couple. Parker goes 6, but Horn picks up the win. All right, so we got to sim through the All-Star break here. Why did we get Ryan? I don't know why we did anything that we did last year. But, you know, looking back on it, I can, you know, the fact that they walked out of the 2020 season so bad, and in 2021 it enabled them to draft Marcelo Meyer. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the 21 and 39 or whatever the hell they were last year to get themselves Marcelo Meyer this year. Yeah, just the 2020 was a who's who of suck, man. Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. I mean, JD Martinez didn't hit. This has turned into a Red Sox history stream here. But yeah, JD Martinez didn't hit last year. I mean, he admitted that it was a bad year. Yeah, they lost Cora for the year. Oops. See, American League wins the All-Star game 10-9. How did our guys do? Ramirez goes 3 for 3 because of course he does. Wozniak 0 for 2. Brubaker got the start, gave up a run in the first. Wynn pitched a third of an inning. Okay, so all of our guys got some run in the playoff in the All-Star game, which is nice. Do you guys like the Major League Baseball All-Star game? I mean, I think it's okay. I think it's probably the best of the All-Star games because it's a real game. What do you guys think? A couple of games left here in June. Yeah, I mean, the no fans hurt. I think it hurt a lot of teams. You know, I mean, I think it hurt a lot of teams, honestly. Ooh, so that's a deal by the Tigers. Billy Moss, 2.5 star. I like the power and the batting eye on this guy. And they gave up Burl Caraway, who's making $17 million as a closer this year. It's really good, though. All right, let's get to July. We'll look at the trade block, and we'll do July stuff. We'll do the international signing. We'll do the draft. Of course, Tampa poses the biggest challenge. Tampa's the best team in the East. The Red Sox and the Rays are the 2 best teams in the East. Game 1 against the Cardinals. Ooh, that's a rough way to come out of the All-Star break. That sucks. You know, we're going to need pitching, guys. We are going to need pitching. And the final game of June. We haven't scored in 18 innings since we come out of the All-Star break. That's no good. All right, player development. Gabe Satterfield. And I'm really excited about this guy. And he looks like nothing. But we drafted him in 2026, and I drafted him based off of his pitching ratings. And my hope was that he would get a kind of that out-of-the-park baseball random talent bump to make him a worthwhile pitcher, and it looks like it's happening. So I am very excited about Gabe Satterfield. He has 4 potentially elite pitches, so that's cool. Danny Fisher was our first-round pick a couple years ago. There we go. That's the development I was looking for. He took him a while to get there. Certainly took him a while to get there, but we can now call him up. Yeah, that came out of nowhere. Look at his scouting. Look at that. Look at that's beautiful right there. It just shoots straight up. Look at that power from there up to there. That's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. And that's what happens when you put $24 million into your development budget. Pete Alonso, Batter of the month in the AL, Acuna in the NL, Cruz Newman, and in the National League, Yozan Okendo. AL Rookie of the Month, Chris Stevens and Omar Lopez. All right, so now we have international signings. It's Father's Day today in the Dominican Republic. Well, then happy birthday to the biggest poppy of them all. And that was actually, you see how I'm David Need here? I don't know if you guys have watched this from the beginning. If you go back to my very first video in this stream, my GM's name was Big Poppy. It's my name for every game I ever play. It's my GM name for everything is Big Poppy, and somebody said that it was unrealistic in the comments, so I changed it to David Need because he was the first expansion pick of the Rockies. So, anyway. All right, so international signing. There doesn't appear to be anything great. Castillo's probably the best bet. He's got the high adaptability, high work ethic, sure. And his nickname is Papa. Papa with some symbols in there. So, Danny Castillo, we will offer him $5 million. Puckett, Hunter, and Buxton did pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty good threesome of center fielders by one organization. But still, and nothing will ever beat this, the run of left fielders in Boston. Nothing will ever beat that. You go Williams, Yastrzemski, Rice, and then you maybe take a step backwards with Mike Greenwell, but then Manny Ramirez. It's just left field in Boston is where Hall of Famers are born, I guess. Bo Bichette, yeah, Bo Bichette is a handsome man. He's got that, to borrow a hockey term, he's got that lettuce, man. He's got that lettuce. All right, so we're going to get up to the draft, and then I need you guys to help me with the draft because I'm indecisive. So we lose 3 games in a row to St. Louis. That's a shit 3-game series. There we go. 5-3 victory. Okay, so Danny Castillo doesn't want to sign with us. Let's go back to the International Amateurs. Renteria was probably the next best option. Not a whole lot here. It's kind of crappy this year. Let's see if Renteria will sign with us. Someone's offering him 2-2. We'll offer him 4. We win 5-3. Future Hall of Famer Alex Verdugo. I hope so. La Tortuga, that's, what's his name? That's Astudio, right? Astudio? I can't know how to pronounce his name. Yeah, we were talking about left field. I like Alex Verdugo, too. You know, I mean, as long as people don't consider him Mookie Betts and just accept him. Yeah, Williams Astudillo, yeah. As long as people don't expect Mookie Betts numbers out of Verdugo, people are going to be happy with him. I mean, he's going to hit 15 to 20 home runs. He's probably going to hit 280 to 290. I mean, he's never going to be Mookie, but that was never the point, which I think most real baseball people can tell you. They were never going to replace Mookie Betts. You can't replace Mookie Betts, so you do the best you can. And that's what they did. All right, so we win 5-3. It's July 3rd. Let's look at the trade block. See if that is updated at all. All right, so we got Justin Dunn, old friend Justin Dunn. We could bring him back. He's making $10 million this year. Let's just see what it would take. Okay, well, they want a pretty impressive piece. Let's go back and let's do this. Let's see if this has changed at all. There's another future Hall of Famer right there at second base. Jeter Downs. So the Cubs really want him. The problem is the players that they want to, the player that I want is not somebody they'll give me. Aiden Miller. He's not bad. But we're looking for pitching. I didn't like this guy because he had the low adaptability, work ethic. Justin Lang is a bullpen arm. We probably won't pull the trigger on any... No. Let's get a scouting report on this guy. See if he's... I'd like that stuff to be a little higher. I like everything else, but... Probably wait... Wow. Okay, so Jacksonville really wants him. I wonder if I could get 2 of these players from Jacksonville. Oh, wow. There's our left fielder. If I could get 2 of these players from Jacksonville, when are you going to a Twins game? Let's see if we can make this work. So I want... Palmer is a pronounced fly ball pitcher who requires... Yeah, I can't have the fly ball pitcher. It says here's a ground ball pitcher. So which is it? A ground ball pitcher or is it a fly ball pitcher? Holy crap. Like, they really want... They really... Okay. All right, let's see if we can make this work. Look at these ratings, guys. I mean, we could stick him in left field. We could then turn around and make Sal Stewart our backup kind of at everything. Can we get Palmer and Giron? We can. What if we ask for Padua and give up Leiter? It's insulting. Huh. Can we get a Bobby Carter? Palmer, I mean, he's not great. Yeah, I mean, he's not great, but... I like the ground ball. He's only 25, so he's not fully developed yet. I mean, he's been bad this year. This guy's the number 3 prospect with his 16 movement. Okay. Okay. They will probably lose unless the team that should be shows up like they did Wednesday versus the White Sox. It's like once a week type of thing. The Twins bother me because they always seem to lay down and die against the Yankees. You know, throughout the 90s and 2000s, anytime they play the Yankees in the postseason, they would just curl up in a ball and die. All right, so we're going to hold off on this for a second. But we know there's a deal to be made here. Just a matter of finding the right one. I really like Giron. Maybe we can just do something like this. Maybe we can give up Estrada. Okay, so they want Negron if they're going to give up Giron. And if I'm going to give up Negron, I'm going to want a pitcher in return. So, all right, well, we'll sim ahead until the draft. We'll get up to the draft, and then we will we'll figure out what to do from there. So let's get to the schedule. Game 2 against Milwaukee. An 8-6 loss. He's fragile. Okay, well, because he's fragile, I'm not interested. Yeah, we are not playing all that well. I mean, we were 16-9 in June, so, I mean, that's, whatever. I mean, I can't say we were that bad. We were 16-9, so let's see how July goes here. 2-2 here in July. All right, so it looks like we're out of the market on the international amateurs. Oops. Yeah, it looks like we're out of the market here. I'm not going to spend a ton of money on any of these players. I mean, they could develop. That's the one thing about international players is that they could turn into anything. But I'm not prepared to spend $5 million on someone who looks well below average. So, all right, good game here. We win 11-3. Perez, it's first home. Perez goes 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Holcomb and Stewart both homer. Glasnow pitches 7 shutout to pick up his 5th win of the year. Yeah, I'm going to Fenway the weekend of the 17th. I don't know which game I'm going to yet. I've got my buddy picking up the tickets today. So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. So I don't know which one I'm going to yet. But looking forward to it. I haven't been in Fenway in, 7 years, 8 years, something like that. So I'm looking forward to that. Ben Guest gets the win. Bullpen pitches well. Horn, look at that. Strikes out all 5 batters he faces. Jones and Kiner Falefa homer. Game 2 against Arizona. 11-0 win. So 4 out of 5 here in July. Lito scores 3 runs. Wozniak 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Ramirez 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Lito and Wozniak homer. Denny finally starting to turn it around here. Pitches 5 1/3 shutout. Can we get the sweep over the D-backs? Oh, hell. Okay, well, that's a problem. And we have diagnosis pending for Willie Castro. So we lose Drew Jones for 8 weeks. So B's going to get the call up. All right, what do we do with our lineup? So Holcomb moves up. I think we're going to go with Cotter. Because the bat has been... He's better. I don't know. Ely is the best defensive player, but he's a black hole offensively. I think we're going to go Cotter against lefties because he's got the bat, and then against righties, and then against lefties we'll get Ely out there to get his glove out there. But Castro's going to be out here for we'll see here in a second, but we'll just slide Kiner Falefa in at second there. So. We have back-to-back shutouts over Arizona. That's good. Lito and Wozniak each have 2 hits. Parker pitches 7 shutout innings. Injuries are taking a toll on us a bit this season. Hap's been terrible this year? I'm assuming. I haven't looked at many Minnesota stats this year, but I assume he's been bad. We got game 1 in Miami, looking for 5 in a row, and we. Okay, so Willie Castro's out for the year. And here's the problem. This is the problem right here. 6 more years at $25 million. So we'll put Castro on the 60-day. And who gets called up? We don't really have. I think it's going to be Carter Young, right? Carter Young. Carter Young is making his big league debut at age 27, hitting the ball really well in AAA. He will be our backup. Kiner Falefa will slide in starting at second. Kiner Falefa, we'll switch him and Romo. Okay, well, that's not ideal, but we will continue to plug away. Well, can I move Ramirez to second now? I can, but look at Kiner Falefa defensively. I mean, we have enough offense in the lineup that we can have someone like Kiner Falefa in at second. I don't know that Ramirez's range is good enough. If he's bad at third, wouldn't he be even worse at second, presumably? I know range isn't as important at third, but at second, it's critically important. I think we're going to leave Jose where he is, and we're going to put Kiner Falefa at second, Holcomb at short, Young will back up at both. Yeah, I love Kiner Falefa. We traded for him back in 2025. We traded Willie Acevedo, who doesn't look like he has really done much of anything since we traded him. Back in 2025, he played, and he was making $9 million a year for 2025 and 2026. We got Texas to eat the entirety of his contract. So we didn't pay him a penny in 2028, in 2025 or 2026. We signed him as a minor league free agent in 2027. He backed up at the infield positions, hit 320. Re-signed him this year to a 2-year contract worth $4 million, and he's hitting 350 this year. So that has worked out well. If that trade has worked out well for us. All right, what are we doing here? Where are we? Our game 2 against Miami. It's a 2-1 loss. And can we avoid the sweep? Very up and down month. So that's what? 5-5 this month? Yeah, 5-5. Standings, we are 4 games up still. Padres and Dodgers both 4 games out. Giants are 5 games out. So we're not running away and hiding with it. We don't have the best record in baseball, but we're in first place, and we have never been in first place. So, that's the fact that we're in first place now is a good thing. And it's time for the draft. So we've got the draft. Let's see. Sal Stewart has improved us in left field. How's he doing defensively in left field? He's been below average. He's hitting the ball pretty well, 298, 347, 500. But we knew we were gonna get offense out of him. That wasn't a concern. Wanted us to lock up Luis Patino. I understand that, but he wanted like $18 million. He's upset with our goals, even though we won the World Series last year. So, whatever, kick rocks. Nelson Geraldo, I think we have to bring him back as our hitting coach. We've been so good offensively. We'd be crazy not to. Draft. Yeah. All right, let's look at the first-year player draft. All right, so the mock draft, we are picking 31st. They have us taking Kevin Ligon. If he is the only player available to us at the end of the first round, I'm going to be really disappointed. Obviously he can play defensively in the majors right now, but that bat is terrible. So let's go to the draft pool, and let's start the draft. All right, so what do we got? So we got a bunch of 2.5-star batters. What about pitchers? Bunch of 2.5-star starters. Who do they think we should take? Josh Speth. He's not bad. He's got some power, good eye, good discipline. But he's 21 with an 18 contact. I don't know if that's ever going to develop. Kind of leaning towards a pitcher. I like Kevin Compton. Goes to Missouri. Pitched against good competition. Has 3 potentially very good pitches. Right now, he's my selection. Steve Bing. Not quite as good, or looks to be just about as good, but not as developed. Eric Everhart. No, I don't like him. Let's look at the batters. We got anything good here? Not really. It's a pretty crappy draft. Speth is probably the best bat in the bunch, but I don't know that I want to take him. What do you think, guys? Do we go after someone like Speth, do we go after someone like Speth, who's got the potential power and the potential eye, or do we go after a pitcher like Compton? Tony Ford. Low leader, low adaptability, low work ethic. That's a problem. Good range. He's going to make a lot of errors. This bothers me, the low work ethic. And he looks to be, these I would assume would develop, but poor competition. Yeah, I'm still leaning more towards Speth or the pitcher. If I were going to take a shortstop, I would take this guy. I would take someone like Ferguson. He's better defensively, has that flexibility I like, already has good gap power, good home run power. Played against better competition. So I would take Ferguson over Ford. That's just me. But I guess since this is my playthrough, you think it's worth? Why do you think it's worse? I get that his contact isn't as good, but he has better gap power, better home run power, better eye, better discipline, and his avoid K. His avoid K, I got a fly bugging me here. His avoid K is a little bit better, and he's not as good defensively. Yeah, I mean, if you look at their potential, Ford has got better contact and better avoid K, but Ferguson is better at everything else. And he's better. I mean, he's better on the base paths as well. And I think defensively, Ferguson is better as well. Contact and avoid K are by far better batting stats than gap. See, I have a type. I have a type, and my type are players who have high gap power, high home run power, and high batting eye. I can deal with low contact if these three traits are higher. I don't like the slap hitters. Just talking about bat. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what it is you're looking for. You know, I mean, he's gonna hit for a higher average. Sure, absolutely, but I think Ferguson is going to get on base more with a better eye. I think he's going to have a higher, when it's all said and done, I think OPS is probably higher here than it is here, even though batting average is going to be higher here than it will be here. At least that's my take on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm cliche. I don't know, but I love the three true outcomes. But I always have. It hasn't been like a, out of the park 22 thing. That's always been my type. In out of the park baseball, this has always been my type of hitter. So, but I mean, if we're gonna do that, then would it make more sense to go with Speth because he's got the higher home run power, high eye discipline. He's just not good defensive. I'm kind of talking myself into Ferguson just because of his positional flexibility. Because I mean, these ratings. I mean, this is 25 home run power and a 380. On base percentage out of a second baseman. I'm going to take Chris Ferguson. I just talked myself into it. And I could be completely wrong, but I just talked myself into it. Chris Ferguson is our number one pick. And Speth is still there with our second pick. What about the pitcher? Compton is still there. So did we have back-to-back picks? No, we had a comp pick. We had a comp pick this year because of Patino. Right. Right. Okay. I think we're going to go with Compton with our comp pick. Can never have too much pitching depth. And he's a bit above slot, which is fine because our first round pick was at like 700K or so, or 200K. Compton. Compton. What'd I say? Compton. Yes, we're going to take Kevin Compton with our comp pick. Oh, never mind. I'm not a bright human being, Ukraine. I'm really not. So, yeah, that took me a minute. All right, let's keep going. All right, so this is pick, what are we in the second round now? Yeah. Second round. There's already not much left, but that's fine. Brandon Blevins. There you go. There's your three true outcome right there. 18 contact, 61 home run power, 97 eye and discipline. Goes to Franklin Pierce University. Come on. How many players from Franklin Pierce out of New Hampshire are going to get drafted in the major leagues? Darren Brady. Before I start my save, I'm not gonna take him in the second round, no. But if he's still there a couple rounds from now, I might. Think about what he could do in Coors. He could hit 50 home runs and hit 180. I mean, that would be awesome. Before I start my save, do I change any league options or anything? I can show you what I have. So I do. I have allowing trading of injured players because injured players can be traded. So I have this checked. I move AI trading frequency to low. It's set on average. I leave it on low because I feel like there are too many trades when you leave it on average. What else do I change? AI settings. I have trade discipline. I have the trade difficulty moved all the way up. That's just the way I play. I think that's it. I think those are the only changes I make. I'll enable. Well, I think this is by default checked, but I think those are the only two changes I make. The trading of injured players, and then I change the AI trading frequency. And then I come in here and I check player personality ratings. I come in here and I because this is normally off, so I leave this on so that you can see all this stuff, the personality. If you don't have that checked, you won't see any of that. So that's what I do. All right, so back to the draft. Let's do this. Let's go to all players. We got any pitchers that are actually hitters? No, but it looks like we got a couple of decent bats left here still. Mike Canterbury is an okay bat out of UIC. He's a flame. And Dan Abrego. Kind of like him, just because he's 17. I mean, those ratings, I mean, obviously he could go either way. But as a 17-year-old, I kind of like that. He's got a good bat. He's got a pretty good hitting profile. Defensively, he's not very good. He's not very good defensively. Oh, yeah. Baseball cards will slow down your game horrifically because it loads pictures of every player. So, yes, if you're concerned about the speed of your game, shut that off. Absolutely 100% shut off baseball cards. Andy Powers. I think this is our pick. That's a pretty solid bat profile right there. He's got a little bit of home run power, a little bit of eye and discipline. He could play left with those defensive ratings if they don't improve. Andy Powers will be our second round pick. Let's keep going. Blevins is still there. Baseball cards look cool, yes, but you can still get the baseball cards. It'll still show the cards, it just won't show the photos. And it does get old fast because you're not going to look at them all that often. Doesn't look like there are any pitchers that are hitters in this draft. That's a bit of a surprise. Here's another one. Another young bat with good contact, good gap power, some home run. There's our next pick, Jared Bonnet. All right, now I want to start looking at pitch potential. He's 20. He would be a reliever, but if you made him a reliever, you'd have to assume his stuff would improve. Do we have anybody with like 5 pitches? Dan Brand. I mean, he'll be there with the next pick. He'll be there later on, but these are some of the shots in the dark. Yeah, it won't make him. No, it won't make him at all. So if you want to play with them initially until the novelty of it wears off, and you can just shut it off later, but look at this guy. He's got 6 pitches. But he's 23. If he wasn't 20, if he was like 19, I would take him. But he's 23, so he's probably as developed as he's going to get. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to take Kyle Williams, and we're going to make him a reliever. I feel like if you make him a reliever, that stuff goes from 54 to, I'm hoping it goes up to 75 or 80. And if the slider continues to develop, he could be a pretty good 2-pitch pitcher. Sure. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself. Brad Matthews, he's 21, 3 great pitches. Kevin Sparkman, he's got 3 pitches that are good, a 4th that's pretty bad. Eddie Solis, we looked at him already. No. Ken McCurdy, I've looked at him already. Let's look at fielding ratings. Let's find ourselves a catcher. Just looking for somebody who has a little bit of a bat, like this guy. J.D. McElhaney out of Mississippi State. He's 22, good eye, good avoid K. Pretty bad contact, but very, very good defensively. I like that. If the bat develops at all, we have a solid defensive catcher. And this is how I always go through the draft. I just sort of bounce back and forth between pitch ratings, fielding ratings, and then batting potential for all players. And I just sort of fill out my roster this way. The 94 catcher. Who was that? Where was that? Was that a... Did I miss a 94 catcher? 84. So you liked David Valdez? Or did I take the guy that you liked? Yeah, he's only 1 star. I don't like his personality. Batting potential. I think Greg Melvin is going to be our next pick. Good defensively. Can play all 3 outfield positions. Those ratings yell right fielder to me. With a really good arm, decent range, decent area. He's a pretty good, got pretty good speed. A lot of room for growth. You know, he's not knocking it for a ton of power, but I mean that could be that's a leadoff hitter profile. So, Greg Melvin, I like that pick. There's no ceiling on the effectiveness of catcher ability. Yeah, I always pick at least 1 or 2 really good defensive catchers in every draft I do, because if one of them develops, then it was worth it, you know, because you can have a catcher who doesn't hit, but if he's defensively he's elite, then it works out. My problem with these guys is they both have low work ethic, and I don't like that. Let's go back to batting potential. We got a pitcher here, Dave Cochran, who's actually a bat. So I think we're going to take him, and we'll make him a bat, make him an outfielder. What round are we in? We're in the 8th. You don't even care about the bat? I mean, I generally don't, but I don't want it to be... Man, Twitter's just ridiculous, man. Like, I don't know why I get myself involved in this, but I'm arguing with some guy about... I don't know how many of you follow the NHL, but the guy that the Montreal Canadiens drafted, Logan... I don't know how you pronounce his name, Mailloux. I'm arguing with people that are telling me that, and I'm not going to get into it here, but I'm arguing with somebody who's telling me that what he did wasn't a big deal and he should be able to play, and I'm not interested. But I got myself hooked, and I can't get out of it now. Can't get out of it now. So Jeremiah Morris has a pretty good bat. He could be a third baseman, maybe. He's got good speed, high work ethic. Sure, Jeremiah Morris looks good. Our 3 true outcome guy isn't there anymore. The guy from Franklin Pierce. Told you I should have drafted him when I had the chance. All right, I'm pretty much done with this draft, I think. Let's go back and one more time look at individual pitch potential and see if we missed anything. Mike Dove, no. Here we go. We'll take Jeff Skeggs. He's 18 years old, has 4 potentially good pitches. He could develop. He could. I mean, he probably won't, but he could. So we'll do that, and then we will finish the draft. Oh, any captains? Damn it. This is delay. That was my fault. I should have looked over. All right, I got to move off my phone because you guys can probably hear it beeping in the mics. All right. So let's come in here. We will negotiate. Let's negotiate with the guys who want over slot first and just make sure we get them locked down. I'll have to find that reliever and make him a bat right away. We'll see how Ferguson does. I am optimistic, especially if we play him at multiple different positions through his time in the minors. He could be a very valuable asset for us. What did I want to look at now? Oh, I wanted to go to here, draft. Cochran? Yeah. And what were his ratings? And he could play center field with those ratings. I mean, he's more than likely a corner outfielder, but let's make him... What if we make him a center fielder? Becomes 2 stars. What if we make him a left fielder? I mean, I don't really care what his ratings are, but... All right, we'll just make him a left fielder for now. Trade block. Trade block. So we need pitching. And do we need... I think we're okay on the infield. We've got Carter Young backing up second and short. I'm fine running with Kiner Falefa and Holcomb as our middle infield. First and third, we're fine. Behind the plate, we're fine. We get Drew Jones back in 8 weeks. That's 2 months. That's middle of September. So he'll be back before the end of the year. So we can just run with Cotter and Jerry and Ely for now. So pitching and first base. And I want to go back. Let's look at Negron again. Let's see. Let's just do this. Let's see what sort of offers we can get for starting pitching. Ooh. I really like this guy. What do you guys think of him? We got 5 pitches. He's 23, though. That's the only problem. So you wonder how much more development he has at 23. But that's a starter right there. He's really good. I might pull the trigger on Kevin Norman, if for nothing else, to get us some more immediate help. Tim Ruff. Oof. He's rough, all right. Ha ha. Again, I'm not very good at streaming. This was the guy who was fragile, right? Yeah. I keep coming back to Palmer, even though he's meh. They're willing to give us the number 3 prospect in baseball with his 16 movement. What are we thinking, guys? Kevin Norman for Julio Negron? I mean, there's, what, a 1-year difference between the two of them? Norman's obviously far more developed. I mean, he's not going to help us this year, but I feel like he's a better pitcher. I feel like he's a better pitcher. I feel like he's a better starter. All right, let's see what else we can do here. Because I like that deal. I think I'm going to, at a bare minimum, I'm going to pull that trigger. Do we want to try to bring Pete Fairbanks back? No, they won't give us him. They're not very good. I feel like I'm going to pull the... can't wait to try Out of the Park 22. You might download it tomorrow or on your birthday because you don't have it installed yet. It's sitting in your Steam library. I have Out of the Park 18 on my Steam library. There's no reason to delete it. In fact, you can load Out of the Park 22 up and you can import your league from Out of the Park 21 into it if you really want to. That's what I would do personally. Anytime I have a league that is going when a when a new version comes out, I just import it. So Courtney doesn't like this deal, but I think this is a really good deal, guys. 5 good pitches. He's got high work ethic. I'm gonna pull a trigger. I'm gonna pull a trigger on this deal. There. Got rid of our top prospect, but we got somebody who I think is potentially better. And we're immediately going to stick him on the 40-man. We're going to put him in AAA. He'll probably be up next year. We are going to disable AI promotion. All right, so let's look at our pitching staff really quickly. So from a starting perspective, it's really our number 5. Sademon Parker has not pitched well this year, especially compared to last season. Jack Leiter has not pitched well this year, although he has gotten better. Look at his pitching ratings. I mean, he hasn't given up an earned. I mean, his June and July, he's been pretty good in 13 outings, 26 and a third innings, and 8 earned runs. So he hasn't been bad the last month and a half. But for $8 million or $11 million or whatever it is we're paying him over the next couple of years, I don't know that is the right deal. Let's see if we can get that deal with Seattle, because that was the deal I wanted initially. That was the deal I had locked down at the end of my last episode, and they're now negging it. So let's see if they will take it now. Now that Jack has pitched a little bit better. Yeah, nope. Yeah, this was the guy we were looking at. So let's see what we can get for Leiter. My guess is not much, but we will see. Your last league finally transferred to 22, but you keep 21 because it's a fast way to reload a league if 22 messes up. One thing I've noticed about 22 is if you have a computer that, like if you're like me and you play this a ton and sometimes you just leave it up on your screen, and if your computer goes into sleep mode, and you turn your computer or for some reason, if you have to turn your computer off without shutting it down the right way, the game crashes a ton. I lost almost a full season of this Rockies playthrough when that happened. I had to shut my computer off because I couldn't get it to boot up. And when I booted it back up, the game had crashed. Thankfully, I had it backed up, but yeah. So we need... Our bullpen is 7th. Our starters are 9th. Let's sim ahead about another week or so and see how things look. You know, maybe at the end of this Atlanta series, and we'll take a look and see if we need to make a deal. Yeah, auto save every month, and I back up my save after every single video. So as soon as I'm done with this live stream, I save it and then I back it up every single time. So we win 5-1. Wozniak goes 4 for 4. He's up to 30 home runs. Ramirez has a couple of hits. Denny homers. Yeah, Denny hits a second home run. He pitches well. Cubs again. Yeah, so, I mean, because it becomes part of my routine, I record my video and then I back it up. If you're just playing offline, it's harder to remember to back up, but I would back up, every few months. Got 2 more losses. That's 4 out of 5 now. 3 straight losses. This is just awful. Holy crap, guys. We've lost 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8. And we are 1 game up. All right, well, it looks like it's time to make a deal of some sort. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Our starting pitching hasn't been terrible. Oh, good. Lito's hurt now. Okay. Well, that's a problem. Let's see how long Luke Lito is out for, and then we can figure out what we need to do. Okay, he's out for 2 weeks with a concussion. Okay, so a third of our starting lineup is on the disabled list right now. So we win 1-0 here. Denny pitches 7 shutout. What are we going to do? How is Pinnell doing? He's not really hitting. He's not ready yet. We don't really have anybody to call up. We can move Eichacker up there, I guess. Yeah, we don't have anybody to call up yet. We're without 2/3 of our starting outfield. Bleh. Trade block. Robert's out for 3 to 4 weeks. If he wasn't out for 3 to 4 weeks, I would make the trade, even with him being wrecked, just hoping that he could get us through the next 3 or 4 weeks. I run backups in there at separate hard drive and save to OneDrive. Yeah, Breeze, that's why you always want to back up you always want to back it up. Just get yourself into the habit of backing it up. Absolutely. Edgardo Fermin. I mean, he's a pretty good bat. Could we stick him in left? No. Anthony Rendon is just a third baseman. Micker Adolfo's making a ton of money. We can afford the money. I'm not concerned about the money. He's just not very good. Maybe we take Tim Anderson and we stick him in left field. He could play left field. What do we think about that? What do we oh, Randy Arozarena. Do we pick up a Randy Arozarena here for a few weeks, or do we try to go after a Tim Anderson and stick him in left field? I kind of like that idea. He's making a ton of money, so the White Sox might be willing to give him to us for nothing. Oh, he exercises his 10-5 rule. But, okay. Why am I looking at pitching potential? Yeah, that happens, Breeze. That happens. You got to get into the habit of backing it up. I mean, everybody learns the hard way, right? I mean, we all learn the hard way. I think I might make a run for a Arozarena here. What are his right field ratings? Not very good, but he'll learn them. He can pick them up. So let's look at a Arozarena. Are you kidding? Really? That's what you want for a Arozarena? Ugh, I hate the hard trade difficulty sometimes. All right, well, what if we start with Bobby Snodgrass? Well, that's friggin' ridiculous. Okay. Okay. All right. Who's Paul Sporer? Should I know that name? I feel like you're going to tell me I should know that name, and I don't. Dom Smith. We can stick him in left. He's been okay. Oh, he works at Fangraphs. He's a big streamer. He streams Out of the Park Baseball and MLB The Show. Oh, okay. I don't know him. I don't watch a ton of... most of the Out of the Park stuff I watch is on YouTube. I don't watch a ton of Out of the Park stuff on Twitch. I get my my RPG and FPS fix on Twitch because I can't play those games myself. This guy's a really good bat, but there'd be no place to play him. His defensive, he can't play the outfield. What about Dominic Smith? What would you want for Dominic Smith? Okay. Well, we can get Dominic Smith from the Reds for Bobby Snodgrass. And I think we do that and we just make it work. I watch the Out of the Park guys on stream. I like watching what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? The community manager, TJ Lauerman. I watch him. I like his stuff. I'm going to start watching Twins. I'm going to find you on Twitch as soon as I'm done here, and I'll, depending on what very late means to you, like I'm usually not awake at 1 or 2 in the morning, but if you're streaming and I'm awake, I will be there. So I think we're going to pull the trigger on Dominic Smith. We're going to stick him in left field, and we're just going to make it work. And then we have a big bat in our lineup to help us down the stretch. So let's complete the deal there. Pick up Dominic Smith. Put him in our lineup. And so that's going to move Stewart to right, which probably, we're going to have one of the worst defenses in Major League Baseball history, but, you know, it is what it is. So we'll do that. Who's going to bat leadoff for us for now? Cotter, because of the eye? I think so. Do we do that? And then against lefties, Kiner Falefa, I guess. Hell, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to be really, really bad defensively here for the first. Out of the Park has a pretty fun Saturday night show. What do they do? What do they do on Sat? TJ is fun to watch play COD. I haven't watched him play anything other than Out of the Park Baseball. I know he does a lot of FPS games because he tweets about it and stuff, but I haven't actually watched him do anything other than Out of the Park. All right, so we made a deal. I don't know what that's going to do for us. It's going to improve our offense. I don't know what it's going to do to improve our pitching, but it's going to improve our offense. We win 3-2. Smith goes 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in his first game. Ramirez hits his 20th. Pitching staff does pretty well. Parker goes 5. Okay, so we've won 2 in a row. Can we win our 3rd straight game? We had a rough stretch there, man. We do. We win 3 in a row. With a cat on. A cat with a hat. The strange girl that streams the bingo show. I don't have any idea what you guys are talking about. I'm completely lost. I'm assuming we're still talking about Out of the Park Baseball or the Out of the Park Twitch channel. Is that what we're talking about? I don't have any idea what you guys are talking about. You completely thrown me. All right, so we win again. 2 hits for Smith in that one. Wesniak homers again. Brubaker goes 6 shutout. Can we sweep Atlanta? Oh, you do? Okay. All right, well, I told you. You guys had me completely confused. Now I know. Now I can check out the stream and I can say, I know you. I know you. So I can feel important in stream. Okay. Saturday night. What time do you stream? Do you stream at the same time on Saturdays, or is it like kind of whenever? Because I think Out of the Park Baseball deserves more love. 9 p.m. is at let's get Eastern, 'cause you're in Boston, right? Okay, I will, she has amazing hair. Good. As long as you can play Out of the Park Baseball, I don't care what you look like. At least you got it. My hair's, you can see by my beard, my hair is, it's still there. I don't know how much longer it's going to be there for, but it's still there for now. Cool, so we got, Cochran. Or Yuka, I guess Yuka is what you go by, according to Twins. So Yuka, Saturday at 9, and then Twins I have to follow when I get done here so that I can watch you late at night. What do you do? What is bingo? What do you do? What do you play Out of the Park bingo? Is that like, 3 starting pitchers get put on the 60-day DL by June, and that you look for that on your card? Like, is that the type of bingo you play? And we win again. Kind of Falefa, couple of hits. Romo, 3 hits. Dominic Smith hits his first home run for us. Glasnow gets the win. Yeah, kind of. You play Out of the Park and bingo at the same time. Well, that's fun. I mean, I've played Out of the Park Baseball for so long. I think my first I want to say 05 or 06 out of the park. Actually, I think my first out of the park game was out of the park 7. I think that was the very first one I played. So, I'm 14 years into this or whatever, and I absolutely love what these guys do every single year. So I feel like they deserve more love. And you root for things like getting swept and players getting mad at you. Well, all you got to do for somebody to get mad at you is play 500 ball and then have someone who feels like they should be a starter and, they're mad at you. So, all right, so we're going for 5 in a row here. We win 7-6. We score 3 in the top of the 9th. They come from behind. Ben Guess has 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Sal Stewart a couple of hits, couple runs knocked in. Haas gets the win. Wynn gets the save. Play a couple more games. We'll probably play to the end of the Cincinnati series and then see if there are any additional deals we want to make. If she loses by 10 runs, it's a spot. If you win by more than 10, it's a spot. If your owner gets mad and sends a made email, you get a mark on the card. A mad email. So do you have the cards on the channel? Or is it just like you have a bingo card and then we all play together kind of thing? We lose there. I'm not original, so I can't think of this stuff. I just like to play the game. So we lose 2 in a row. We're 62-37. We are 2 games up on the Padres, 5 up on the Dodgers, 8 up on the Giants. Still have the best record in the National League, although it is, I don't know. It is tenuous, I guess, at best. You have the card and we all play together. Well, that sounds like fun. I will check it out next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be there. I won't be there under the Around the World Sports channel because, again, that is I just use that for Twitch. All of my follows are on my normal Twitch account, which I created long before I started doing this. Well, Twins, I hope I'm your second favorite after tonight. I hope you're enjoying yourself here tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I am the definition of a small-time streamer. I appreciate you guys being here. I do have a YouTube channel. Again, if you want to check that out, it's right there. I stream out of the park. I stream some other stuff, too. I have to wait 2 weeks for bingo. That's fine. I'll come hang out next Saturday. I absolutely will come hang out next Saturday. Like I said, I try to catch most of TJ's because I really like the playthroughs. The season by season playthroughs. I've never been a huge perfect team guy. I mean, it's just not for me. I know it's been hugely successful, so I know a lot of the streams are geared towards that. So I poke my head in every once in a while for those, but I like streams like this. I like, let's take a team and let's try to win it. So I've been watching TJ's stuff on Twitch for years now. So, well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Yuka. I appreciate you as well. I appreciate you being here. So, all right, so we are a week away from the trade deadline. We're 62-37. We've signed all of our first-round picks. First of all, let's do this, and let's disable the AI promotion for them so that they don't do anything wacky with them. Compton so far has made 2 starts. He's 21, but I'm going to leave him in rookie ball just because of his ratings. Ferguson started out 7 for 22. I think both of these guys we're going to put in A-ball. Do we want to send anybody else up? Mike Hennon can stay where he is for now. This is his first year in A-ball. Kevin Mathis, he's a beast, man. He's a beast. A 10th round pick, 311th overall. You miss Wednesday night out of the park, baseball, MLB, 9 innings. I don't know what that means. I don't watch. Yeah, I'm not on Twitch every night, unfortunately. I get on there when I can, but we've got some bats in our system, guys. We've got Kevin Mathis, 20-year-old first baseman with 98 potential home run power. Danny Fisher, who again, Yuka, we were talking about my type. Well, here's my type. 17th overall pick in 2026. This guy will be my start. I'll find a home for this guy in my lineup somewhere. Maybe not against lefties, but against righties, I'll find a home for him. Carson Messina was a second-round pick, very, very good defensively at third base. We've got some good bats in our lineup, or in our minor league system. Do we need to make, or do we want to make any more deals? I want to do something with Leiter because it's just not happening for him this year. It's just not happening. I'd like to get another starter to get Parker back into the bullpen because he's having a down year as well. Let's go back to the trade block. 40-year-old Jacob deGrom still going strong with the Detroit Tigers. Justin Dunn. It's a crossover event of 2 games designed to get out-of-the-park baseball players to play the MLB 9 innings mobile game. Okay, got it. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, there are so many different ways you can play this game, and versions of the game. I love the fact that you've got Out of the Park Go now. I love the fact that you can play it on your phone if you want to. I think it's fantastic. Reed Detmers is an option. He's somebody who's a former Rocky as well. I kind of want to make a run at Justin Dunn. He pitched for us for a few years, 24, 25, and 26. I wonder what it would take. He's not making much money. We could plug him into that 5 spot for the rest of the year. And they don't want a ton, so maybe we can start with... Who is he? Where is he? Raul Estrada. Close to sealing the deal. Yeah, we certainly are close to sealing the deal. So if we do that, then we have to send a pitcher down, which is fine. We can send down Adonis Medina, or would you take Jack Leiter? Okay, not for nothing. So Leiter actually makes the deal worse. So we may be stuck with Jack Leiter as a very expensive reliever here over the next 3.5 years. This tells you kind of how new to this I am. So I've got my main PC here. I'm doing this on 2 laptops. I've got my one laptop here that I play on, and then I've got this is my work laptop here to my left that I have Twitch up on. What I really want to do is get a setup like that where I've got the multiple monitors here in front of me, and I've got Twitch on one, I've got chat on this one, I've got the game on this one, like a real streamer. Because I'm certainly not a real streamer at this point, but whatever. Oh, my nose is itchy. That's how I know the stream is coming to an end. My nose starts to get super itchy. It comes from sitting in my office. So we're gonna give him Brett Conine, 31-year-old Brett Conine. It's fine, you can have him. So we're going to get Justin Dunn for Raul Estrada and Brett Conine. We bring Justin Dunn home. We're going to stick him back in the rotation. We're going to have to send a pitcher down. Who do we send down? Medina's been our best reliever. Do we really do this? Do we really send Jack Leiter to the minors? I think we do. I think we send Jack Leiter to the minors here for a while and let him get his stuff together in AAA. He is really not going to like that. But at this point, I think that's the right move. You used your COVID money to stimulate the market by buying a new computer. So did I. I had the one thing I've always splurged on for myself. And I got 4 kids, so most of my money goes towards them. But the one thing I've always made sure I had was an effective gaming computer, either be it a desktop or like the last computer I had. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. Oh, it's behind me. I had a 17-inch Alienware laptop that ran everything I could possibly want it to run. I got about 4 years out of it. It'd still probably work okay, but it's blue screening on me. I've got some sort of issue with it. So I went out and I got this one, and now I do this one. So, all right. Well, I think that's a good move. So we stick Justin Dunn in our 5 spot. So our rotation is pretty set. It's not as good as it was last year. We're not as good as we were last year, but I think we're hanging in there. So let's get up to the trade deadline. We'll review the team, and then we will call it an episode. But yeah, I did the same thing. I bought myself a new laptop about, Quinn Priester. We traded for Quinn Priester in the offseason thinking he might be a reclamation project, but instead he got hurt and has been terrible. So we're just going to rehab him to the minors, and then we'll probably waive him. Yeah, the computer is sort of the one personal thing that I splurge on. And then beyond that, the only other two things in this world that I refuse to skimp on are coffee and toilet paper. If you want my advice, those are two things in this world that you never want to skimp on. Always buy good coffee. Always buy good toilet paper. That's my life advice to you guys here tonight. All right, so we got 3 games against the Mets. Let's see how those 3 games go. Game 1, 6-3 victory. Soy sauce. I've never been a big soy sauce guy. My wife likes to make a lot of like stir fry and stuff. She would agree with the yarn. She's a knitter. She's got our daughter to knit. Yeah, she would agree on that as well. Glasnow picks up the win. All right, so that's a solid win for us. Game 2 against the Mets. Another win, 6-2. I would also argue hot sauce. Good quality yarn saves lives. I would also argue hot sauce. My brother-in-law bought me for Christmas like a thing of like 6 different types of hot sauce, and man, I was like a pig in you know what for the span of like 3 months, where I put hot sauce on different types of hot sauce on literally everything. It was friggin' wonderful. So Ramirez with a 3-run homer in this one. Ely had a pinch hit 2-run single. Brubaker goes 5, doesn't get the win. Smith gets the win. Win pitches well. Win. 64-37. Can we get the win over the Mets? 8-7 clothing. I don't know. I'm a t-shirt and shorts guy. This is where I work from. So I'm facing this computer right now. When I'm working, I look like this. My work computer's right here. This is my office. So I get to work in shorts and a t-shirt during the summer, and I work in a hoodie and PJ bottoms during the winter. So the only time I need to wear anything else is when I have to put on a shirt for a conference call, and I've got my conference call polo sitting right over there, but I still wear my shorts or my PJ bottoms. It's cliche, but it's legit. It's what I do. So, all right, so we win. We sweep the Mets. Smith hitting pretty well since we picked him up, 296, couple of home runs. Ben Guest goes 4 1/3. Bullpen picks him up. Mason Wynn, another difficult outing. He had 45 consecutive save opportunities that he converted until this one. So he's been great. We haven't used him in the field. I forgot that. Frankly, I forgot that he was a middle infielder. I forgot that he could hit the ball. So we may need to find a way to get him into the lineup. All right, so we got 4 games left. Pittsburgh, Philly. Let's get through those. We will recap the stats, and we will call it an episode. Or a stream, I guess, not an episode. Another win. 11-4. 4 in a row. So we've had a solid stretch here. Connor Falefa, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Holcomb homer. His power's really kind of been sapped here over the last couple of months. He hasn't hit many home runs at all. Yeah, he had 5 home runs in April, and he's hit 6 in the last 3 months. All right, well, that's fine. He's playing good defensively, and that's really all I care about. Denny pitches well again, gets the win. Game 2 at Pittsburgh. Make it 5 in a row for the Rockies. Wozniak 3 for 5. He's up to 35 home runs on the season. If he hadn't missed those 3 weeks back in May or June or whatever it was, he could be making a run at 70 home runs realistically. It's on pace for 55 home runs in 130 games. He's a damn good ball player. So Dunn in his first game back, or his first start back with us, gives up 4 and 4. Bullpen pitches pretty well with the exception of Medina. Can we get the sweep against Pittsburgh? No, we lose 10-9. All right, so last chance. Let's look at the trade block one more time. See if there's anybody there that piques our interest. Robert's back in a week, but we're going to have Lito back shortly. We don't need a catcher. Fermin is a really intriguing bat, but I don't know what I would do with him. I mean, I suppose I could send Carter Young back to the minor leagues and have Fermin as like my backup second baseman / shortstop. Because Young's not hitting. He's very good defensively, but he's not hitting. Fermin is a very good hitter, but he's terrible defensively. I don't think I'm going to make that move. I'm going to stick with what we have. All right, so let's get through today. We're going to get through July. We'll recap everything, and that will be that. So we win 4-1. Cotter. And again, this guy was a Rule 5 pick for us this past season, and he's been really, really good. A 926 OPS, 542 slugging. I'll take it. Stewart had a couple hits. Holcomb hits his 12th. Brubaker goes 6, picks up the victory. Cool. All right. So what are we looking at? We are looking at player development. Anything of interest here? Parker got a little better. Guess got a little worse. Ben Guess hasn't really turned into kind of what I mean, with these ratings, you would suggest that potentially he has ace potential, but hasn't really happened for him yet. And he's already 28, so you know how much more development will there be there? Sal Stewart, he's getting some rate, he's getting some play in right. Ultimately, I want Sal Stewart to be that utility guy who can play everywhere. I need players not to get hurt so I can use him that way, but that's what I want to use him as. Chris B got better. Kevin Norman, who is the guy we picked up for Negron, he's pitched really well in AAA so far. He's making a push to be a starter next season. AL Batter of the Month, Jordan Sweeney. NL Batter of the Month, once again, Sam Wesniak. Pitcher of the Month in the AL, Hans Kraus. In the NL, Julio Urias, who's now a starter, I believe. He's now a starter. 94 saves the last 2 seasons. He's now a starter with a 2.06 ERA for the Dodgers. Tommy Speth is your AL Rookie of the Month. And in the NL, Nate Schlack. Those are some names, folks. Those are some names. All right, so let's quickly take a look at our stats. We'll look at our minor leagues, and then we'll call it a stream. So Ben Guess, for all that hemming and hawing I just did about him, he's got good for 3.5 WAR, 125 ERA, plus 15.4 strikeouts per walks. He has walked. I take that back. Ben Guess has been fantastic this year. 8 walks in 110 innings for Ben Guess against 100. Have you ever seen a walk to strikeout ratio like that before? Let me know, guys. I don't think I ever have. That's crazy good. Tanner Brubaker's been really good in his second year for us. Jim Denny. Our top 4 starters have all been reasonably good. I mean, I'll take it. Guess, Brubaker, Denny, and Glasnow have all been fine. Glasnow's contract is up at the end of this year, and we have a very interesting decision to make. He's been super good for us. 66 and 49, 4.34 ERA, 18.3 WAR in 5 seasons in Colorado. Good for anywhere between 2.5 and almost 5 WAR. He's kind of that veteran leader, and I know that doesn't really exist in this, but in my mind, Tyler Glasnow is the leader of our pitching staff. He wants a 5-year deal to come back. I don't know that I would want to give him 5 years, but we may talk to him, see if we can get him back at 3 years at 15 or something like that. I mean, would he be interested in that? Would I be interested in that? I mean, he hasn't really dropped at all since we traded for him. In fact, he's gotten better. It's something I'm gonna think about. You guys, let me know. Do you think I should re-sign Tyler Glasnow from a realism perspective? He's the veteran of our starting rotation. We are gonna need him because Justin Dunn is a rental. So that means we'll bring back Denny, Brubaker, Guess. I shouldn't say we're going to need him because we also have Parker, Horn. We have Leiter now in AAA. That's 6 starters before we even get to Glasnow. So, I mean, is next year the year we go all in and say it's Sademon Parker, Chad Horn, Denny, Brubaker, and Guess, and just run with those 5 and see what happens? I don't know. We got some decisions to make. But Tyler Glasnow has been a rock in our rotation. I would like to bring him back. It just depends on the cost. Mason Wynn's been very good as a closer. Camarada's been actually quite good. His ERA is 3.5, but his FIP is only 2.5. Look at just huge strikeout numbers from our pitching staff. Huge. Jordan Hicks has been good. Hasn't been great considering what we're paying him, but he's been good. Chad Horn has basically given us the same performance for literally a 20th of the cost. We're paying Dunn $10 million to give us what Chad Horn is. Haas has been pretty good in his first year. Carter Smith, we decided to just make Smith a reliever. Initially, he was going to be a starter. He was really, really bad in the opportunities we gave him as a starter. So we just made him a bullpen piece, and he seems to have settled in. Parker was bad as a starter, and then Medina's kind of that back of the bullpen guy. Lineups. Sam Wesniak just continues to be a monster. Jose Ramirez, the WAR's down a bit. He's not going to reach 8 WAR this year like he did last year and the year before that, but still 35 homers, 119 RBIs. I'll take it. He's got a team option for next year, so this may be something that we have to think about going into next season, because if he declines that player option, I mean, it's going to free up a ton of money. Jack, thank you for the follow, man. We appreciate it. I'm not sure what we're going to do with Jose Ramirez if he declines that option. I mean, we have a built-in solution with Sal Stewart, but, I mean, he's not going to give us anything close to what Ramirez is with the bat, so that's something we'll have to consider. Braden Holcomb, he's been okay with the bat, 262, 314, 444, below average. I mean, his OPS plus is only 84, but he's been very, very good defensively. Romo, power starting to come along a little bit. He's up to 12 home runs. Kiner Falefa just doing Kiner Falefa things offensively and defensively. Cotter, again, that Rule 5 guy has been really good. Chris B. is kind of bouncing back and forth between Colorado and Albuquerque, and he's just hitting everywhere he is. Josh Beer, the Josh Beer, thanks for following. I appreciate that. Let's see how Josh Beer is doing. Or that's Seth Beer, I guess. Are you any relation to Seth Beer? Because here's Seth Beer. 110 home runs in 855 big league games. So that's how things are going offensively. What did I want to look at? Pipeline. So our minor league system, we used to have one of the top minor league systems in the majors. Most of those players have since been called up. But Kevin Norman is now our number 1 prospect. He's the one we got for Negron. He's in AAA. He's doing fine. Mike Hennon was actually a pitcher that we turned into a hitter, second baseman. I don't know if he's ever going to field well enough to play second base, but he can certainly hit. Horn, we've talked about. Pennell, he will likely be our starting left fielder next year. He's still not hitting quite well enough. Need to see that average come up a bit, but he'll likely be. I mean, defensively, he can play left field for us next season, so that'll probably be the plan. Quintanilla's still in the international complex, or I guess he's in rookie ball now because he's 20. Real is in the international complex. Satterfield is that guy I talked about earlier, who we drafted because of his pitch ratings. He's developing quite nicely, actually. I mean, he's still in rookie ball. In fact, let's call him up. Let's give him a shot in A-ball now and make sure that his AI promotion is disabled. I like to control that on my own. We've talked about Fisher. Our system isn't ranked highly right now, but I think we've got some players. No, you just really like beer. Got it. I hear you, man. That's fair enough. So you're the Josh who drinks beer. You're not. Gotcha. We're good, man. Cool. Well, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I think we're pretty much done with this stream. We're at about 2 hours and 40 minutes. I normally like to go for about 3, but like I said, I came into today with a little under the weather with my allergies kicking my butt. I would ask one more time
the shameless promotion, head over to my YouTube channel, drop me a subscribe over there. I've only got about 250-ish subscribers over there, but they are dedicated, man. I have some of the best viewers, I think. I mean, I get the same people are commenting on every one of my videos. I love it. It's great. I love the support. I have a blast doing it. But at any rate, so the next video will be posted Wednesday, and that video will likely take us through August and September, right up to the end of the season. And if all goes well, that means next Sunday's live stream will potentially be the 2028 offseason, or at least the start of the 2028 offseason for the Colorado Rockies. We're 30 games over 500. We have a 6-game lead over the Padres and Dodgers as we look to repeat. So once again, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. Makes the time fly by. I didn't know if I was going to get through an hour and a half tonight, but you guys coming in here and chatting me up most of the night kept me going. I appreciate it. Again, if you don't already follow the GM Games channel here on Twitch, do so. If you don't follow GM Games on YouTube, go over there, drop them a subscribe over there. Also join their Discord. That's how I've found some other really entertaining streams on both Twitch and videos on YouTube to sort of occupy my time when I'm not playing myself. So again, guys, appreciate the support. Appreciate you hanging out with me, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good night. Bye.